Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fantastic evening. Tonight I have before you another visual novel, The House in Fata Morgana. Now, I did a teeny bit of research on this game, just the tiniest bit. I wanted to find out, do I need to download a mod like 7th mod? There is I think it's like some Requiem of Dreams mod or something. I don't remember what it's called. But I was reading a couple Reddit posts, and people are like humming and hawing about whether or not it's worth it, whether or not the art's an improvement in the remastered stuff for consoles. I'm not quite clear on that, so we're gonna go with vanilla because I just saw more people recommending the vanilla answer. It didn't quite seem to have a concrete answer, so if the answer is your mileage may vary, depends on what you like, I guess we'll go there. If people want to see the new and updated art, since apparently the mod breaks some of the CGs and stuff, you can't cleanly swap back and forth. We'll start with this one, and if people want to see the other one, we'll figure it out and see what people like. Personally, I'm just gonna start with this one because it's easier, and I can be nice and lazy. I know very little about this other than that people have requested it. I got several requests from several people over, I don't know how many years we've been doing this, a couple. It's been a while, so if people want to see this, you know what? We'll do it. I think the audio might still be a teeny bit loud. I've turned it down a whole bunch, so we're just gonna tweak it again. And if it ends up being too loud, I guess we'll just live with it. Hopefully that's not too loud. We'll restart the audio. And we'll see if the voices are deafeningly loud. If they are, well, we'll turn it down. We'll see. It's the start. It's always it's a little bit rocky. I assume Inspect Your Memories is load, and Enter the Mansion is going to be start. So we'll just click the good old Enter the Mansion, and I'm not going to touch any of the extras or anything because this is the story. Spoilers ahead. Oh, interesting. It lost capture for a second there. You guys got a black screen? All I did was slowly fade out the menu text. But as you can see, this game is technically not in 16.9. We're playing in 4.3. Yeah, close to 4.3. I have no personal complaints about that. In fact, there's a house that sits beyond dark, dense woods. I just say, this actually reminds me of Stay Night. This thing at the top. Fading in after. Oh, that old mansion appears before you. Without realizing it. Instinctively accept as truth the events unfolding before you. The house lives in perpetuity, amalgam of myriad fates and generations. No one knows who first said. Mansion was cursed. Knows who said. First mansion. Never seen that one before. Opening credits, planning script and direction by Keika Hanada. Feels like I'm watching the opening scroll for something, which is clearly what this is. Art? Moyotaro. Well, I'm gonna say Moyotaro, you did some good work. This is a nice atmospheric start. Elokin? Yao, Kutsumi. It's like the opening credits. The house in Fata Morgana. A nice atmospheric start to a VN. Not super aggressive, but it's building atmosphere. Like 2 sentences. You have the idea of like what's going on here. O Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Are we gonna start with thy king? No? Have mercy on me, O Father. Cast their souls into eternal damnation. I don't recall that being how that prayer goes. I was looking down upon a corpse. Oh, here it begins. It begins properly. We got like this half heart thing. And oh, okay. So mousing over like the bottom right gives us the menu. We have like config, backlog, save, load, skip, auto, and window. And the somewhat haunting music still playing in the background. A corpse, the first action. Following the credits, the first thing, we start looking at a corpse. My own corpse. Oh, interesting. I was afflicted with great despair. At the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion, my soul crumbled. I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me. Let me know if the audio mix is a bit wrong, like if the audio is too loud over my voice. I heard a voice calling out to me, and so I vowed once more, no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume. Do configure, right? Yeah, return to game is an option. Dude, I still feel like it's really loud. Maybe it's just this track. We had a couple issues in I think it was Echo, where like certain sections of the game were really loud and others really bad. Like their mixing wasn't perfect. There's definitely a problem here and there, but we'll see. We can scroll up, right? Oh, that's cute. So if I just use the mouse wheel to scroll up, that's not too bad. I don't know how long it takes, how great the obstacles stand in my way, or what form you may assume. I shall come back for you, that I must return. Okay. To that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more. Consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. Each new breath, feeling gradually returned your fingers. Master. You could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master? And the sound of a crackling fire. Wake up, Master. Yeah, I couldn't hear the creaking, but I don't know if there's supposed to be a sound effect for it. Wake up. Oh, there we go. The crackling of the fire. When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Oh, splendid. You finally awoken. Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. I feel like I'm an old man. Alright, we got ourselves a maid. Good morning, Master. Oh, that's unusual. Oh, I can respond. Okay. This is our dialogue choice. We have say nothing or say good morning. Well, I think it's only right to be polite. We'll start off by saying good morning. This is an unusual pop-up, but it's interesting. Like it's very decorative. But I'm not entirely on board with the aesthetic. I feel like, would it be better if they just put this pillar like 3/4 of the screen width? That might be better. I guess it wouldn't look as pillar-like, more like a window, but I'm trying to make it look like dialogue options. What's the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. So I am glad to hear your voice. I've simply been waiting so long for this moment. Ending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whatever that time may be. Most interestingly, there's been no voice acting. I was expecting voice acting. Most VNs have voice acting. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. Time had finally arrived. You were perplexed. This woman who looked like a maid seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. Indeed, I have no clue what's going on either. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile if you'd like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since last year. Tell me, Master, what would you like? Beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited, but I hope you'll be sympathetic, Master. I'm just utterly elated I can see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps life was a more appropriate word than energy. She does look quite pale. Unnaturally so, like a very gray face. I would describe it as ashen, but that can also mean like downcast. I don't think she's depressed. It's more like she actually just has gray, like white. I don't know if it'd be porcelain or the color of it. It is a little bit weird. It might just be the color palette, so it's hard to judge, right? Your first impression of a character is like, okay, this is very pale, but is it unnatural? I don't know yet. The gloom extended beyond the maid. It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace and the rose engravings in the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sensation of claustrophobia overpowered that familiarity. It seemed as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet. Oh my, you do not know who I am? You do not know who you are either. Quite the predicament. You can't remember who you are, then who am I to serve? The woman's face was pale, almost as though she... Faint chill ran down your spine. You're the master of this house, though it would seem you have no memories of... Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you're no different than a stranger to me. No? Indeed, you have returned. But from where? That I cannot say. How about this? I'm a servant of this mansion, and as such, I'm familiar with many that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. The freshly awakened gears in your head begin to turn as you mull things over. The maid called you the master of this house, but without a single mirror in the room, you have no way of knowing what you look like. Finally able to decide, you reflexively nodded. Let us be off then. And fear not. I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. Fear not, I'm merely asking you not to let go of my hand. Entreat seems like a very light word for please don't let go of my hand, there's a non-zero chance you'll die. Like she's like, fear not, let's be off, I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Like, that sounds so lightly, and then the next two sentences are like way worse. You're like, okay, maybe this is something weird going on. Maybe there's something weird going on here. Oh, look at this. Look at this. It's like a grayscale, and this is like grayscale with only the light generating any color. That's interesting. Reminds me of like your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness, neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. I will agree, this does have like the image does have an oppressive feel. The lack of color doesn't help. The fact that it's lots of these things are indistinguishable and enveloped in shadow also does not help. Like, I have no clue what's in this corner. I have no clue what's over here. Like, all this seems like a mystery zone to me. The light barely illuminating what is in the room makes me feel like these are like really weak candles or something. Which might actually be true, as I don't know anything about the setting. Did they mention candlelight? Hold up. I recall the crackling of a fire. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace and the rose engravings in the ebony pillar felt... So there is fire. We can hear the crackling. The gloom... it is supposed to be gloomy. I'm saying Fire Mansion. The vibe is there. I'm just looking to see if it's specifying candlelight anywhere. I don't recall reading that, but it's like I'm trying to like ascertain the timeline or like the setting. Like, is the setting? Are we in the past far enough that electricity is not a thing? So is this chandelier using candles or light bulbs? And it's too hard to tell at the moment. Alright, the only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. Really illuminated. After some time, you arrive at the double door, the glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded to a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side. Though it is in the state you see it, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond these doors. The owner at the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across. At its grandest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? I very much hope it's to your liking, Master. Maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. Okay, so I assume a new CG is gonna pop up here, right? Slow fade out. Interesting. The first door. Ah, title card. I see. The first door, 1603. Ah, we have a time frame. 1603 is a little bit before electricity. So, we'll go with candles for now, but they might be set far in the past. Oh, shoot, I missed that dialogue. Let's just try. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. This period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction. Its cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. That's the first time I've heard of the 1600s described as a symphony of destruction, but alright. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, the people seem to hark back to the more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, they painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the challenging times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. War would break out, not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history, but that's of no concern to us now. At the time, it was still what people refer to as the Golden Age, a period of furor for all who were there. I'm trying to think, like, what is happening in the 1600s? Let's take a slight detour. I'm trying to think, like, what's happening in 1602? I feel like I could say, like, 1492 is Columbus. That's not, like, super relevant. It's also 100 years old. When was, like, Champlain tried to do his settlements. Okay. Died in 1635, Quebec City. Okay, so this is not taking place. I'm thinking this is probably not taking place in North America. This is probably Europe. We've narrowed the setting down. We've narrowed the location down. Fata Morgana is presumably not in North America. Not a lot of colonies. Not a lot of well-established colonies. Alright, slight detour. Well, we won't be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion from beginning to end. It's about the mansion and not an individual. We will, however, be moving through time. Say, about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. Mother and father, brother and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. She likes blondes. Like that she's either a deep brunette or black. Here I am, standing around, looking rather like a fool. I was happy back then, and what reason did I have not to be afforded the opportunity to attend such a beautiful home? But I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely if you would. That soft, fleeting sound that could only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it? Is this intended to be quieter? It's pretty loud in my ears. I was debating turning the audio down again. Alright, well, I will say, I believe the mod gives updated visuals. These visuals updates seem less necessary as the art so far has been better than the base art of Umineko Higurashi. Got some la la la. The girl you see carefully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird was called Nellie. Can I press H to hide, or is that... Oh, right click is hide, okay. Got roses in her dress. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house's garden and would often spend her afternoons here. There's a lot of color, and this dress for 1600 seems mid to high quality. Having read... Actually, that's a good question. I'm gonna do some quick Googling. I want to know what year Little House in the Woods and Little House in the Prairie is supposed to be. I think it's like later than this, right? Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's like 1821. That was way later. I was gonna say that I think things were more established there because that was about people moving west. That's why the sequel was Little House on the Prairie, right? I was thinking that should be set like at least 100 years in the future from that. I'm trying to get an established thought of like where we are and what we're about. Because like, where is the house located, and like, who is this everything? So we have maids. Presumably that means we're at least middle income, probably upper class, if I had to guess. But like, it could be a merchant family that owns the place. It's not impossible. We are post-Renaissance, not by too far. Oh, far relative to my time. Like, Renaissance was a while ago. Like, we're still 100 years off, right? When's the Renaissance technically? Like, yeah, it looks like I'm getting things like 100 years off. I know they're off, but that does confirm that it could reasonably be someone who's middle class. Alright. Nellie's deeply fond of the house's garden, and she'd often spend her afternoons here, so I'm just gonna like make the assumption that these are British. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care and even had their thorns removed. The young Nellie would not hurt herself, naturally. The light brown-haired girl carefully plucked petals from the roses, gathering them up as she sang. Her voice was like music played by fairies, nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Oh dear, don't look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful. What is a woman if not fanciful? Little birds singing. Your little birdie heart, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little bird. And even when the sun comes up, oh dearest Mel, I forgot what come next. Are you listening? Nellie was, as a matter of fact, not the only visitor to the rose garden that day. She always came with her older brother Mel. I'll try to keep that. Young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree reading a book. As I'm sure you're aware, in their time, books could not yet be mass-produced. Yep. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. They got money. Like I said, they gotta have some amount of money. Like, technically, printing press is invented in, like, what? Like, 1400 something? It's 14 something. Like, I want to say, like, middle of the 15th century. It's like 1450? I don't remember what year it is. It's 1600 in this, so in theory, they could have movable type, right? But I don't know how common that is. 150 years... If you told me 150 years from now something would be common, I'd be like, of course it's common. It's probably common 20 years from now. If it's good enough. But it's possible. I don't know how long it took before books became incredibly common. That'd be a thought. Printing press is 1440. In Germany? Started by Gutenberg in 1450-ish. 150 years sounds like enough time for everything to be pink, but sure. Written in movable type, but sure. Right. I presume he borrowed it from the church. Borrowed from the church, not owned? So not incredibly wealthy. Okay. The book, having passed through many hands over many years, was visibly worn, but I suppose that speaks to its importance. It was, in fact, a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. By that time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced texts. Oh, dearest Mel, please. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hands, she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boy still didn't notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, thrust out her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Look, your face is covered in... head's covered in roses, man. You got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty. That's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. Besides, flowers won't get the book dirty. Must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit? While waiting for you, dearest Mel. I've waited and waited, and you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book. Oh, that soon. That soon. Mother says girls grow up fast. Might be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult. That's not true. I'll still play with you even when I'm grown up. Grown-ups don't play, Nellie. Fine, I'll stay a child forever then. They were about to grow up. Oh, you're so mean now. Sorry. Please don't pout, little lady. How about this? Make it up to you. I'll play whatever you want today. Really? You mean it? I want to play make-believe. Make-believe. I'll be a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight. And then you turn into a prince when you rescue me. A knight can be a prince? Impressive. And knights and princes both have to be charming, so of course they can. Why? Which is why it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else can be my prince, or my knight. While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed at his rose-cheeked sister, proclaimed prattlingly, I'm certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nellie and gently stroking her soft hair. Alright then. You're my princess, Nellie. And not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So, don't be fooled by anyone else's prince but mine, okay? My princess is quite the fawner. That bad? Does it make you dislike me? Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nellie. I mean, more to me than your princess. I love you, dear. You'll always be my prince forever and ever. Her mood quite improved. Nellie began humming the melody of the song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nellie. Man who was literally... He was just complaining about someone getting a flower petal on his book. And then he leaves it in the shade of a tree and goes running off. I wouldn't leave my own books lying around outside. I certainly wouldn't leave a borrowed book lying around outside. That seems like a recipe for a disaster. Someone might take it. More concerningly, because you're worried about damage, you could forget it there overnight. You know, the morning dew gets the pages damp, or worse, it rains. None of those sound good for a book. Yeah, I'm doing my best, you know. The minute I read, he puts the book down and runs off. I'm like, not inside, internally screaming. Alright. They were picturesque siblings brimming with hope. And at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though, pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow impartial and without exception. As such, everyone's childhood comes to. Be that as it may, does time also flow at the same speed for each individual? Let's take a trip down the river of time. I would very much be delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately, we cannot. Why can we not stay at this point? Please do not let go of my hand, Master. If we get caught in the time vortex, is that what happened? Will it change from a lovely spring day to perhaps a boiling hot summer? I'm up with it. He looks older here, or at least he's changed. Oh, stay for much longer? An errand to run today. Thank you for your time, as always. Is this at a church then? Like the book back sometime next week? Next week or the week after? Hold on to it as long as you'd like. Surely there's others who want to use it. Not as sharp as you know. Put yourself in my shoes and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Oh, do you not believe me? No, I believe you, Father. I mean to do whatever I can not to do. That's the spirit. If you need anything, don't hesitate. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. Yes, and Mel, you consider what we were talking about. University. I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. Very little left for me to teach you, and I believe you'd make a fine priest. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord. Cringing. He's cringing inside. He's like, ugh, cringe. I'll give it some thought. You'll excuse me then. Doors are always open. The few places you can get educated at a church, right? Depending on your economic background. Right. Late medieval period. Such a weird time period. I have too much. Ah. I don't know too much about what's happening in like 1800s and onwards. I have some knowledge. It feels like all my knowledge stops at like just before here. Oh well. Whether it's in service of God or in service of the church, it's a profession, but wouldn't mind attending university, but I'm not sure. I kinda like to do something different, more befitting of the time. I can sympathize. As for what though, I'm stumped. But I need to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even my father's liable to grow impatient. Ah, mercy me. Young sire, blessed young sire. Alms for the poor? Ah, beggar. If I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week. Alms? Alms? The way he shakes his head. I can get a glimpse of his forehead under his hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this. Thank you. Thank you so much. May the Lord bless your soul. Thanks. Lord. Oh no. No, it's gonna be a cross if I don't hurry home. Oh, curse, doesn't it? Looks like it's gonna rain. Master? Master? Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have a firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you'd accidentally let go of my hand. Now, Master, this is the period of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he'd from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was, in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church on Sundays to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by an eminent marquis. Though it was not a school where students had desks sat in rows, they studied at the marquis. Secondary and higher education was not the same as it is today. Of course, of course. Private tutoring, good stuff. And Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding what he should do. That he had such a choice is envious, is it not? Yeah, he'd be the envy of like 90% of people. Good afternoon. I'm here to pick up my order. Is it ready? Ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Mel Rhodes. Oh, don't call me the young master, please. Beg your pardon. Can't I seem to get it out of me? Get me head out of the past. Your order's right here, sir. Mel had stopped at a jewelry store in the center of town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. He was so skilled, even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of a piece of his jewelry said to be on display in the palace. As artistry flourished in this golden age, the number of shops selling luxurious items such as jewelry arose in kind. However, the clientele of these shops comprised a very narrow range of people. Have a look. Of course, of course. Ah, good, it came just as I hoped. Splendid work. Can't afford to disappoint a loyal customer like yourself. An admirable work ethic. Was he like a small-time baron or something? I'm sure she'll love it. Such a kind lad, young master. Hope I'll be back at home to do well to learn a thing or two from you. Every man ought to show women some cordiality. Coming home to a cold fireplace is a sad thing indeed. Please don't call me young master. Heavy vocals on the soundtrack so far. Interesting. Take this. Be on my way. Find yourself in need of aught else, let me know. I can make any jewelry you ask for. Come to me and your sweetheart's day will be sure as made. I guarantee the two of you will have all sorts of fun when you give it to her. Please, I don't have a sweetheart. Well, that's a surprise. I'm sure many girls are vying for your hand too, young Mr. Rhodes. Fine family, good looks, charming. And your future's all but... I'll be on my way then. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Good day, come by any time. Goodness. Maybe I'll say I want to study abroad or something. My father would, maybe, that would certainly anger him. You can hear it now. Ah, you're wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and go somewhere far away. Rank. Okay, so he does have some title. Count? I count? Air to one. Sounds like the kind of plan Nelly would come up with. Does it now? Still quite whimsical. As it grew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, this distinctive scent had led visitors to refer to the house as Rose Manor. It was also probably a play on the flaxen-haired family's last name, Rhodes. Heard the owner of the jewelry store say just moments earlier. Right, Rhodes versus Rose Manor. The mansion looked quite different. than it does now. No thickets of ivy covering the walls, no rotten, broken doors. I wonder what the Rhodes family would do if they saw the house in its present tragic condition. The sight of their abundantly blooming roses, a veritable symbol of prosperity long since withered and turned into soil. Apologies. I got a bit sentimental there. Let's forget for a moment about our own time. Suppose I stated a bit too. Oh well, the sun still shines high in the sky. I'm sure it's... There she is. That's a nice CG. Looks happy to see him. A new outfit. Bright orange. Bit of blue. Blue sash. Oh, and she went with like teal things in her hair. That looks kind of nice. I like it. I like it. It's a nice outfit. Here's dear Smell. What took you so long? Where have you? I've been waiting forever. Nelly? You're not in the house? You were taking so long. I decided to wait by the gate. You didn't even notice me at all. Is that any way to treat a lady? That steadying's got your head stuck up in the clouds. Not really. Also, you're heavy. Please get off my back. Heavy? Oh, it's not just blue, it's a butterfly. That's really fancy. Nice. Okay. I've been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat, and I love sweets. I see my finger for a new dress, and you call me heavy? I didn't catch that. You're saying a tongue twister? Such a dimwit, Mel. You blockhead weakling. What happened to that delightful little girl who was once my sister? She'd probably throw a fit if I said that out loud. Should you really be outside, Nelly? Are the star of today's event? Fine. I can call it a birthday party, but I know it's just about fraternizing. Obvious what father's true motives are. He'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off to. I have no interest in that at all. Don't be like that, Nelly. They're all here for you. At least enjoy what you can at the party. I guess. Besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at this, dearest Mel. What do you think? About what? About what? Me. Oh, Mel. Mel? My new dress! It arrived! I'm wearing it! Do you not notice? I noticed the new dress. Oh, there's like a big blue gemstone at the top, too. I didn't notice it was something I hadn't seen before, but you have so many dresses, Nelly. But this is the dress I had made just for today. Look at the colors, they're so pretty. It's the work of a renowned dyer. And this belt is just lovely. See how it comes together to form a butterfly? Dude, it's a sick belt. Look at that. It's really cool. Does it also reach up here? Oh, this is so nice. It's just adorable. I absolutely love it. Wearing this dress for quite a while. So tell me, what do you think? Does it look good on me? Yeah, it does. It's pretty. In some ways, I guess she is still a delightful little girl. Oh, dearest Mel, I love you. Don't jump on like that. Oh my. Dropped something. And what have we here? Hold on, no, you can't have that yet. Is it a present? No, give it back, I was gonna give that to you later. I knew it, it's for me. And what could it be? Oh, what's the big deal? It's gonna be mine soon anyway, isn't it? Oh, I love it. A rose necklace. And this design, it's from the jeweler the royal family uses. My dearest Mel, you had this made just for me? It defeats the purpose if you open it before the party. Happiness is always better sooner than later, Mel. I think I'll put it on right away. Oh, they actually did update her sprite to include the necklace, the neck thing. There, how does it look? It's like a giant rose. I was thinking it'd be like more like... I was thinking more like a rose-colored gem that would hang here. That would hang a little bit. It's like a tight necklace, like a collar. It's more like a rose collar than a necklace. Looks very relatively tight. Like, can you get like 2 fingers on? I don't know. It looks lovely. I'm sure it looks nice, but not. Prince is still the sweetest of the land. Such weird. Oh, but one prince always knows exactly what his princess wants. And this princess wanted some rose jewelry to go with her new dress. Butterfly. It's butterfly themed, and you're accenting it with green and blue. They're cool colors. Right? The beads in her hair, the gemstone at the top of the root of the ponytail, and the butterfly are all blue. Green. I think she just likes it. Oh, I just noticed, like, what's his name? Mel has a belt that's also got a rose design on it. You can't see it because that's right where his name is. But he's got a rose on his belt as well. Interesting. Also, that's a lot of straps to do up. A lot of actual straps on someone's shirt, jacket, vest, whatever you want to call it. Right. Understand? Like Prince Nelly. It might be about time you found a new one. Prince is a prince because you can't just find one standing on the street corner. Want to retire, dearest Mel? You're gonna have to wait another 10 years. Or if you find yourself a new princess. That's... You're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. But your adorable sister will always be your princess. What more could you ask for? You're allowed to be the... I need more than you than any other girl in the world, do I not? That makes you a perfect princess. What's that laugh? It'll all be over soon laugh? You're always telling me. I mean more to you than more than anyone to you. Than anyone in the world, my beloved baby sister. Well, I'll take good care of the necklace. Thank you, dearest Mel. You're happy with it? So am I. You're very welcome. Now back into the house with... Can't have a party without the guest of honor. You know if anyone's here yet? Imagine they'll be here soon though. Party hasn't started, it's really not a problem, right? Down at the church again today, Mel? There was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look up. Oh, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there, personally. I kind of feel the same. Really? Why? You know, I have my reasons. See, even you don't always like the priest. Let's skip mass on Sunday then. We can go play. Sure. As grew the brother, so too did the sister. That day, Nellie would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. I too can do math. You saw it with your own eyes. You know just how much she's changed. She was always a cute little girl. She grew into an even more beautiful young woman. Though she was only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. And as for her character, well... But a girl like that has her own charms, wouldn't she say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings matured into healthy young adults. The core of their relationship did not change in the slightest. Nellie was attached to her brother, and as much as Mel complained, he still deeply cared for his sister. Around the time the sun had begun to set, carriages started lining up outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. And Nellie suspected. Majority of them were boys. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Rose Manor, right? Alright, we'll go together. Hello? Please don't make me... The inhabitants of Rose Manor. They're surely living quite contented lives. I'm sure they don't remember a thing. What? What? Right. Okay. That was a start. The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testament to their great fortune. Servants' first assignment every morning was to clean this room. Pitchers, silver plate, silverware were polished to a shine so they could be proudly put to use at a moment's notice. And for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served an even more important role. The table's tops were removable, so they'd ordered new tabletops with designs made especially for this occasion. And once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables, speckled with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candied fruits, were moved off to the side to make room for, of course, the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nellie. Looking particularly lovely today. Nellie, I had these jewels cut just for you. You let me have this dance, Will? You look exhausted. They're pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. They're apples, candied, and rock sugar, I would think. Point me, dearest Mel. What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming. It never ends. Driving me up the wall. Everyone's just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They all think pretty jewels and request to dance are enough to make a girl swoon. That is true. She got pretty jewels from him, immediately swooned. Yep, it seems fair. Why is she disappointed with me? I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year. They'll probably throw an even bigger one next year. Oh, well, you know, we're at that age now. We are a reasonably distinguished family, so there's a number of different houses that would like to have connections with us. So, and Nellie is just like, I want to stab you. What you're saying is, do it for the family. I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as a pawn in their interfamily politics. I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure Father wants to let you choose stuff. No, someone you actually... I never thought I'd hear you talking about love, dearest Mel. You don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's plays so beautiful, and you're talking about love. I fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet, and you're talking about love. We went all the way to the Globe Theatre, too. Pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts. Fear not, Nellie. Shakespeare's make-believe story made you cry like a baby. Anyone would cry at that. You have to be crazy to sleep through it. That's a good thought. Oh, I want to check. Shakespeare. Died 1616. That's hot. I was like, they said Shakespeare, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he dies like a couple years after this takes place. I guess it's like 10 years. I guess they could have seen a live performance. That would have been spicy. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nellie, would have no problem finding love. Oh wait, they went to the Globe Theatre. Did that confirm? Shakespeare's English. Shakespeare's English. Right? And the Globe Theatre is in London, right? Yeah. Google says that's correct, so there we go. We did correctly ascertain that they were British. Based on their names, and the reference to Shakespeare in the Globe Theatre confirms it. Now there's other possibilities. I think the plaster walls were a bit made me think. I was like, I didn't want to say it, but I was leaning towards like, I was leaning into like Spain, Portugal, a little bit, because I'm like, isn't that like a stereotypical? It's Iberian, right? Iberian design, like the plastered walls. But I wasn't certain. But it was. I was getting that vibe. I didn't want to say it, and I'm glad I held off on saying it. I was contemplating it, but if I'd said it, I would have felt silly. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nelly, would have no problem finding love. Oh, dear smell. We should dance. Nelly, could I have this? Dance, dear smell? Me? Wait a... Come on, I really like this song. Pulling on me, Nelly. What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings. Oh, mother and father are staring daggers at us. Staring daggers. No matter, what day is it today, dearest Mel? Birthday. Exactly, so I can do what I want. Now, attend to your princess, as a proper prince should. How'd I get myself into this? Nelly's skirt fluttered along with her as she stepped in time to the music. He was not only a skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet trying to keep up. It would be hard-pressed to describe his dance abilities as good, even as flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons, he found himself more being dragged around by his sister. It could hardly be said to be attending to her. Humiliating. Because his parents had been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mel looked like a tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall, you'd hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter. Awkward. Come now, dearest Mel. If this is the best you can manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye? I won't, it doesn't matter. What happened to doing it for the family? Come on, buddy. Follow my lead now. No? What? Nelly, alone, enjoyed her time dancing with her brother, and quite thoroughly at that. It didn't matter to her that he moved awkwardly or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure. Just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough and stop the music, a ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance. What could that be? Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared. I've been spared! No more embarrassing dancing. Music came to a stop and the party guests began bustling. Sibling's father spoke up sternly above the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. Knocking. They ordered the servants to investigate and had the music restarted, gave a short apology for the interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to go check on the entrance with the other servants, as I recall. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These aren't my memories, but those which dwell within the mansion. Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective, then? That's not what confused me. Well, your questions shall be answered in time. What confused me? Why would someone knocking at the door stop the party? I mean, maybe they don't have someone attending to the door, but that wouldn't be corruption or... What was supposed to confuse us? Time, yes. Everything will be resolved in time. Now, let's return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, your father's decisive actions restored the guests' festive moods in short order. It was not by any means the motion that caused the ball to conclude earlier. The motion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. I hear thunder. Rather loud. Sounds like we have quite the storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable. Rain was a frequent occurrence there. But welcome to Britain. The stretches of time with clear skies grew longer as summer approached, but the weather was still somewhat unstable on the cusp of the... They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little spears on the window. For the party to continue on any longer, no one would be able to go home. Though their father was quite concerned that Nelly had not got on with any of the aristocrat boys, he decided to cut the festivities short. Goodness, it ended early. How lucky I am. It must be a blessing for always being such a good girl. You're having your own birthday party cut short counts. Depends on how you're thinking about it and what you actually want to be doing. If you don't want to be at the party, it sounds pretty lucky. It's no fun. Can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. For heaven's sake, Arthur was here. No interest in dancing with that dunce. Arthur. Arthur? Who's that again? Oh, who is he? Unbelievable. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mal? Came over to play a few times when we were little. Covered in gross freckles, he's a huge jerk. Freckles, and he's a huge jerk. Then my hair looked like the color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves! Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. And he acts like nothing happened. He even calls me Lady Nelly, for goodness sake. Are you listening, dearest Mel? Listening? Wonder what that ruckus earlier. Ugh, weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that? Sorry, aren't you curious though? Probably wasn't another guest at least. Probably wasn't another guest, but maybe a cat snuck in. Thanks. I do. But enough about that. Would you like to play cards in my room, dearest Mel? Exhausted though. It's not even that late. But fine. Something feels off. Cat? Want to go check. Come on, hurry up. Oh, hold on. You don't need to drag me, Nelly. My birthday isn't over yet, so you're not done attending to me. He's suspicious about what's going on. She's like clueless. Alright. Getting the vibe. At least he's curious, you know? He's not a complete waste. Yes, that's why he's apparently well read. And a ruler. Rain won't let up. Sleep. Wonder what the commotion. I was reading that as common something. Till I saw the ocean. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. The commotion. For goodness sake. All this storm's fault. Well, I can't sleep. Just fretting over nothing. Sure, Nelly was right. It's just a cat. Maybe a dog. Can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be? Quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything. But also not going to fall asleep just lying here. Up we go and out for a walk. The only sounds that could be heard in the dark corridors were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain and his steps and his breathing. You have a tendency or Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth veiled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, so he naturally found himself moving cautiously despite being in his own residence. Funnily enough, having lived in houses and apartments, I find that it is much harder to get this vibe in an apartment than it is a house. The apartment is too small for this vibe. Apartments are just too damn small for this vibe. You're always like 90% confident where everything is. A little bit harder with the house. Houses can be a bit creepy, feel empty when there's no one there and there's usually more people. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. Like the lack of people at night in a house feels creepy, but like the amount of people in an apartment. Around doing feels a little bit like eerie when there's like no one there late at night. Where was he supposed to head? Mel, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path to his destination lit by flashes of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mel was slowly but surely drawing nearer to one room. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls, past the living room, fireplace long since cooled, into another corridor. and then stopped outside an Abigail's bedchamber. The dim glow of a lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person's movements or vibrations in the air from someone speaking. Slightest emotions can cause the light of a fire to quiver. Shifting subtly as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. She's still... A voice. He seemed to be hesitating. It wouldn't be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside. But he had reservations about peeping in on another's chambers, even if it was his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? The voice feels like it's calling to... Me? Or someone else? Yes, me. It sensed someone watching me at that moment. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain as invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I couldn't begin to speculate as to his true feelings or how great a surprise this was to him. I too am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it is not who is of concern, master. It is you. You and... Well, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself, but I can't look away. What's that? Some random white-haired beauty? Can't tell if this is supposed to... The generic brown commoner's outfit worn for nighttime, or supposed to be a nice nightgown. It's like... I can't tell if it's supposed to be... I can't tell if it's supposed to be worn down, cheap night clothes. Or it's just... a regular gown. Is this supposed to be lace? I can't tell if the edges are supposed to be lace or just a little bit worn. Huh. The needlework here doesn't seem to be top notch, so I guess... I don't know. Skin is so pale you can practically... That white because she was out in the cold rain? Hair is... Oh, and her eyes, they're like... Describe it. My vocabulary lack situations like this. Like... Blood? Disturbing. No, more translucent than gemstones then. Gemstone. Her eyes are like rubies. I've never seen it like her before. What could they be talking about? Mel's eyes were affixed on the peculiar young woman. She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowed like luxurious. But her lips were bluish-purple, her soft, delicate skin sullied with grime, her twinkling eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair the disheveled. She had... Wait, come again. Snow-white hair that flows like luxurious silk. Okay. So when I hear that, I'm thinking like, you know, the Asian hair where it's like perfectly straight, or it might be wavy. Like the picture also reinforces the idea that it's like that perfectly straight, silky, smooth look. But then it tells me the hair is a disheveled mess, and I'm a little bit confused. Because that seems to be at odds with the description flowing like luxurious silk and the picture, which looks perfectly orderly. Like, how is it a disheveled? Like, you know, I get when my hair personally is longer and is a disheveled mess. I understand that because it's tangled all over the place. It's not smooth or coherent in any way. No, it's like a blend of curls and waves. It's like a complete mess, right? Like if it's, but when it's like when it's straightened, I'm like it literally can't look bad. Unless you like just take your hand to it and like rub your hands through it like a whole bunch and try to mess it up, and even then it's like 2 seconds with like any comb or brush will fix that right up, because your hair is like long. Your hair is like mid length or long and like and like straight. It like wants to be ordered. Have to mess it. Lance, clearly not a lady of means. Not a lady of means, aka broke. Or not wealthy. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, her garb little more than rags. Oh, is she the person knocking on the door? Interesting. So this is intended to look at. I was looking at the needlework on the nightgown, and that's what I was thinking. Okay, good. Glad we saw that hint. However, true beauty is always visible no matter what it may be hidden beneath. Even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity. Even if she thought herself hideous. I wonder what happened to her. Mel could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt for peeping as he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice from the white-haired girl's purple lip. So feeble was the sound that a gentle breeze flowing through the room could carry it away. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There's something strangely comforting about this. I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he'd be fond of it. About your father. That's nothing you could have done. Came to our rescue. You, father? Is that perchance what the commotion was about? Stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to others more effectively than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him. She flickered her gem-like eyes upwards. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby ones, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 2 steps away. Did she catch me? I'm not sure. It's only for a moment. She can't have seen me. The boy did not have the courage to peek in on the room a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber as quickly as he could manage. What are you showing me then? What is the mysterious maid showing me if it's something she hasn't seen herself? Even beneath his covers, he couldn't erase that girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, and her pure white. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind, nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. Well, you should have knocked and gone in. Who could she be? Mysterious white-haired girl. Person given as a tour's clone. Matter? Why? I thought I felt something. Only your imagination. Not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Familiar with how people refer to this man? Rosemary. Yes, indeed. It's called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the... But that's not what I meant. It is said a witch resides within. I've not heard any such story. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very long time ago. Nothing you need to turn yourself. Kill your present. I consider that a compliment. It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. First, I ask you one. Yes? I don't believe you've given. My name. My name is Slim Shady? L? L. Wake up. Get up, Mel. Get up, Mel. It's morning. Want me, dearest Mel? Very much long since morning. I didn't see you at breakfast, so I had to find out what was the matter. I've really been asleep, though. Father is far too lenient on you, dearest Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. For that. Yes, dearest Mel? You doing in here? You can't just go prancing into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. Long ago. Things are different now. Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleepyhead. Alright, I'm getting up. You can see yourself out. Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mel. You overslept. You look like you didn't get a wink last night. You think so? You didn't go out on the town last night, did you? Naughty, naughty boy. I never know that. Oh, you squeaked. I don't think I believe you. I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me play cards until late. Playing that long. Besides, look at me. I got up just fine. I can't get dressed with you in here. Fine, I'm leaving. Oh, what's forgot, dearest Mel? Come on, no need to be mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news. Oh? At breakfast? Which you missed? Father told us. Told you what? Do I really want to say? Sounds like you want me out of your room, dearest Mel. Please, Nelly. We got a new maid today. From a house we have ties to, supposedly. I've never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful. I've never seen her at a social gathering. That's not quite the surprising part. That maid. It's peculiar. It's a very unusual appearance, that one. Have white hair. How do you know that, dearest Mel? Uh-oh. What are we gonna say? Thanks, Nelly. Hey, get back here! For goodness sake, what's gotten into him? At that time, the majority of the servants at the mansion were men. However, the ladies of the house all had Abigails. There were several female servants. Okay, this is one of the few places where I think females are using female instead of women. Would have made sense, but they didn't. Usually I have to complain about the opposite, where it's always like some weird it always like starts to feel creepy when there's like, yes, the females. Here we have it. It's like, oh, there were several women servants. I'm like, I don't know if that was as well. Right. That works. Self-included. Maids, by and large, were selected from the daughters of other esteemed families. It was, you could say, a sort of training before they entered society. The girls who would serve at houses even more powerful than their own. And the white-haired girl Mel saw that night before was one such maid. When he heard this, Mel could not sit still any longer. I didn't really think this through, did I? I don't even know where she is. I'm guessing she's probably Mother's maid? White hair. Has to be the girl from last night. But deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman he had seen the previous night was truly here to be a servant. And can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess, hardly what you'd envision from a girl of class. But he did not seek her to find out whether this was true. He merely wanted to see her once more to ascertain what he had witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination. And he wanted to have an actual conversation with her. Wouldn't it make more sense to get dressed? You know, put on some pants before this? Don't want to run into Mother, that would be awkward. So I'm just gonna go look for her maid. Surely her maid won't be anywhere near her. He was heading towards his mother's bedchamber, but the closer he grew, the heavier each step grew. See what I mean? Like, what are you thinking, buddy? What are you thinking? He rounded a corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. On occasion, Wishes do come true. And when Mel turned the corner, he saw her, the same girl, the same white hair. He appeared to be cleaning the hallway, traced along the wooden carvings lining the walls, making certain not to miss even a speck of dust. The girl wore a pristine dress, the uniform of the mansion's Abigail's. There was no longer any filth to obscure her beauty. All that covered her pure white hair and glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed was her listless, ruby eyes. Pardon me. Hearing his footsteps, the young woman raised her head. She caught Mel's gaze for a brief moment and merely blinked at him in silence. Lord Mel, yes? Your father informed me of you. Did he? I guess I don't need to introduce myself then. I believe she made an attempt to smile, though it was difficult to tell. She quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flax and Ruby met only for the briefest of moments. The guy's eyes are always so... His eyes are always like half closed. I can't actually tell whether he has flax eyes? They're using flax. So they used flax, and they commonly use it to describe blonde hair, right? Flaxen hair, usually blonde, because it's like you assume in the natural hair spectrum, and yeah, it's kind of like wheat. Sure, okay. But they describe his eyes as like that, and I'm like, wait. He has. It's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be light brown eyes? We're not doing hazel or chestnut. We're doing flaxen eyes, which is weird. Then again, red eyes are also weird. And her eyes are red, so you know I can't say it's unnatural. It's just I want to see a couple shots of his eyes directly so I can confirm they actually mean yellow eyes or yellow irises. Oh, you seem to be looking at both someone and no one at all. Everyone here truly has the most beautiful color of hair. You have business with the mistress. Know if you... No, I was... Now felt as though all the blood in his body had begun to flow backwards. Not effectively describe the sensation, but in a word, it resembled panic. On his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, and he generally had little trouble speaking with others. He had less experience interacting with women, this was true. But the time he had spent around Nellie kept him from stumbling too much, until then. Yes, for you. Why would you be looking for... I was wondering how you were doing. Pardon? Quite fine. Good, great to hear. What are you even saying? Me attempting to hold a conversation with anyone in real life, by the way. More important things to ask. Like where she came from, or to tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. I don't want to trouble her too much. What, Mel? Yes. Sorry, you just suddenly fell silent. In my way? No, not at all. Not at all. Up to you. So awkward. I'm cleaning. Oh, yeah, I did ask that too. Cleaning, right. There's just nothing but ellipses. They're just sitting there awkwardly. Oh, God. Oh, you can just let the other servants take care of the cleaning. You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Why is Mother making... No, I'm doing this because I want to. Mistress appeared to be busy, so I couldn't... I enjoy cleaning. Well, if you say so. Say, yesterday. The mansion's truly a thing of beauty. All the many roses in the garden, even the furnishing has had a great deal of thought put into it. This family must have a wonderful sense of aesthetic. Oh, yeah, thanks. Just change the subject on me? Delighted to have been given the opportunity to serve at such a magnificent house. Mother and father actually had nothing to do with that. Not even the garden. It's all been around since my grandfather's time. This mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it. Oh, what's it? Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised he actually paid money for it. The chandelier in the foyer was shattered, only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations on the walls were broken. I can hardly imagine. This is a marvelous, impressive house. I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear it. My grandfather was a bit of an eccentric. He liked to do things people didn't expect, just to watch the looks of surprise on their faces. He's the kind of man who'd buy a mansion that was beyond repair just to give it a completely new life. Everyone who'd seen the property before it was renovated was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent. Well, I was just thinking you're kind of like this house. What do you mean by that? I mean, when you first arrived. Never mind, forget that. You'll figure out you're peeping on her. She hasn't yet, has she? Yes. It's nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion aren't really comparable. I was gonna say compatible, but it's comparable. Truth is, being a rundown mess isn't the only reason nobody wanted to buy the house. They say, all who dwell in the house shall be met with misfortune. Believe it? There was a flash of blood there, but it's hard to tell if that's actually... Just kidding, it's not actually true. It's all rumors and hearsay, embellished to make the tale a little bit more exciting. The rumors only started because of how it used to look. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, we wouldn't still be here. And it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Do you know how he passed away? No, how did he? Inside a lovely lady. What? Believe it or not, that's how he died, together with a young, beautiful woman. His time ran out while he was making love to her, they say. A rather rude way to go. Hardly misfortune. What'd I tell you? Yes. Just so you know, I promise I didn't inherit my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I'm pure body and spirit, dedicated wholly to my studies, so, He left. Apology. No, it's fine. Anyway, we were talking about the mansion, right? I've always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. The dress you're wearing was found here after my grandfather bought it. You don't see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it was probably imported. Architecture was really old-fashioned too, which must have caught grandfather's eye. When he announced his plans to buy it, the entire family opposed his decision, but he refused to budge. Renovation upon renovation gave the mansion new life, but all of his work, he was most fond of the roses. He collected species from all across the world. Every time you got a new one, he'd summon gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long. There were even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather would refuse to give in. He truly loved roses. Me, I don't get how someone could be so impassioned about it. It's just embarrassing every time someone calls this house Rose Manor. Perhaps the roses were meant for someone. What? Speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. Indeed they do. If you like roses as much as Nellie, you're welcome to go see them for yourself. Pick as many as you like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Don't be shy, I'm sure it'll get tiring if all you do is work. No, I'm a bit of the sunlight. What are you, a vampire? Oh, that's unusual. Perhaps that explains why you're so pale. No idea, that sounds rough. Skin's so pretty too. Seem terribly surprised. I'm very much surprised. Or would you have preferred a more dramatic response? No, I expected you to find it I'm sensitive to sunlight and can hardly spend any time outside. Makes me sound like some kind of demonic creature. I asked if she was a vampire, but I thought it'd be funny. The red eyes. Red eyes? Red eyes. Pale skin. She's pretty suspicious. Alright. Well, you worry too much. There's not a monster in the world as sweet as you. Oh. Yes. Are the other maids teasing you, perhaps? That black-haired one, especially, she's, how do I put it, a little frightening. Almost as if she has a steam heart or something. She's impenetrable. Right, she's one of Mother's maids too, isn't she? I'm even more. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you are henceforth hellspawn. I can imagine her saying that.
But again, I'm very sorry. No need to apologize. In fact, I wish you'd laugh more. Actually, very kind to me. Everything she does. She does it with incredible precision. She looks young, yet she has such skill. How long has she been here in the mansion? Actually, she's been here quite some time. I don't know exactly how long. No one knows how old she is. It's kind of creepy. I've never once considered such. Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, she still scares me. Like there's no light in her eyes, or like her smiles are all faked. Doesn't make her any less pretty, though. The conversation died. I have to think of something else. Oh yes, you can ask me anything. Master, your father, Lord Mel, often retire from the mansion. I've not seen him around. Oh yeah, father frequently returns home. This mansion's actually our secondary house. Why do you ask, though? I was just curious. Oh. Yes, what is it? The maid's asked to see me. I should be on my way if you'll excuse me. What? Alright, see you later then. Bye. Alright, one moment. You're sensitive to the sun. I can pick some roses from time to time for you. For you to decorate your room. That's all. Sorry for holding up. Oh, why am I so bad at this? Why am I so bad? Definitely think I'm obnoxious. I want to hide under a rock. I want to reverse time and try this over again. Coming up. The red ones would match her eyes, though. You kind. You have my thanks, Father. And I apologize for being late today. There's something unusual. You not being punctual. Maybe next time we'll go a whole month without rain. Do have mercy on the next year's crops, Mel. Verbalize, Father. Oh, did something nice happen? You look like you're in good spirits. Did you find? No, something did happen, didn't it? All over my face, isn't it? People prefer an open book to a vase of stone. So it is. People may prefer it, but it's not a good trait to have for social engagements. What? Not the kind of engagements you'll be having, anyway. Sorry, don't look so dejected. For now, at least, there's nothing wrong with that. So tell me, what has you in such a joyful mood, Mel? Oh, it me so fun. Trying to recruit him to the priesthood? Make him take that vow of celibacy? Taking on another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes, things get lively for a while. All the excitement's gotten to me. Oh ho. Why are you looking at me like that? No reason, no reason. What family does the little lady come from? Oh, you know. He forgot to ask. He didn't even ask her name. I don't know if you caught that. She was just a white-haired woman the whole time. He never asked, and they never told us. Don't know? I was gonna ask her, but I missed my chance. Oh, Father returned home. I can't speak to Mother. I see. Got your eye, has she? Yeah, she has. The truth is, you're more than just interested in her, aren't you? Are you not? No, I they do enjoy tormenting me. I should be getting home now. Well, yes? Make certain you find out where she's from. You're genuinely interested in her. Your responsibility to determine if she's actually suitable for you. You an excuse. Doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. I'm not in love with her. I'm just interested. Just interested. This isn't love. Couldn't be. It couldn't be. It's me we're talking about. Besides, I hardly even know her. Sire, blessed sire, alms for the poor. And Baker as before. I don't think he's moved since then. He looks skinnier than last time. He's gonna have trouble making it through the summer. I should give him something while I have the chance. Alms for the poor, have mercy. Sorry, this is all I have to give you. Thank you much. Blessings upon you. Good Lord, bless your soul, young sire. Feel bad for him, but that's the way of the world. Farewell. The skies really are clear. The sun shone fiercely down on the town that day. As was characteristic of the area, cloudy days and rain were frequent during the season, but the sun almost always took the stage the day after the storm. The cathedral was standing tall in the center of town, the stone-paved streets clacking with the pleasant sound of footsteps. People peering out from beneath the awnings looked up at the sky. In Mel's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by a divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the forsaken, even if their time would later come to be referred to as the Golden Age. Elsewhere, back at the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. On a whim, she had decided to redecorate her bedchamber, so she gathered the maids and put them to work shouting orders, making demands and complaints. She had not summoned not only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl. Oh, I like that. How many times must I tell you? The tapestry goes by the door, and I don't like the carpet's pattern. Is there anything else we can change it with? Wait, who put this ugly vase here? Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was the servants who bore the brunt of her frustration. Though they found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was a girl who spoke her mind, a trait peculiar to that time in history. Women of the Golden Age were so vivacious, in fact, it inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. But no matter how hands-off her parents were, had Nellie been born a generation earlier or a generation later, she likely would not have been able to act so free-spirited. That day, however, Nellie didn't seem to be her usual self. Though she always spoke her mind, it rarely went beyond being childishly adorable. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face. Ugh, get rid of all of it. The carpet, that chair, the desk, all ugly. Don't we have anything better? Don't? Order it, have it made. Do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them. Having only arrived that morning, the white-haired girl was unsure what she was supposed to be doing, caught in the middle of a flurry of maids, furniture, and fabric. She chased frantically, scrambling Abigail with her eyes, and made attempts to help, but not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in the way. She probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. When the maids ordered her to get new furniture made their way out of Nellie's room, she attempted to follow. Hold on a second. Yes, you with the white hair. However, Nellie stopped her before she could take her leave. The white-haired girl turned back, bewildered to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth turned up into a self-assured grin. There was no trace of timidity or uncertainty in her demeanor. Flaxen eyes seemed like they would nice under the light of the sun. Actually, she does have yellow eyes. Almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl. I want to talk to you, actually. The mother never was one to share. I asked her to trade maids, but she wouldn't have it. So I decided to completely redecorate my room, because then I'd need some extra hands. Because mother and father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Who are you exactly? Where did you come from? Tell me, what house are you from? Why can't you tell me? If I took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rhodes family, I have a right to know. Do I not? You can't expect me to welcome a girl into my home who won't even tell me where she's from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't even seen you at any parties. Came from another country. Another country? What country? We're very, very far away. Oh? North of here? East? West? South? South of here. Across the sea to get here, which is why we never met before. How far did you have to travel then? How many times did the sun rise? How many stormy nights did you face? Innumerable days and nights we sailed, having ever further north. Ugh. Huh. So tell me. Most wonderful painting. Tried to brush me out. I won't let it get away that easy. Painting? In my room, of course, that's wonderful. Especially so. Both so adorable, you, Lady Nelly, Lord Mel. How old were you when you first painted? That painting, goodness, you have such a good eye for art. Oh, it's magnificent, isn't it? I was done when I was 4 and Mel was 7. You see how we're standing next to each other holding hands? I was too young to remember it very well, but Mel looks like he was really embarrassed. Standing there like statues makes for a boring painting, Nelly explained brightly. Having completely forgotten that she was pressed up against the white-haired girl, she did a little twirl, stopping to face the portrait. Though many paintings lined the walls of her room, Nelly was most fond of the one her and her brother, two darling siblings standing side by side, the older brother smiling kindly, the younger sister sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks the color of fresh-picked apples. It was like the very embodiment of their happiness. A painting lays its subjects bare, you know. Fortune, misfortune, happiness, sorrow, enshrined on canvas for all to see. And this reflection is not merely limited to the point in time where it was made either. Did you know, Master, paintings are alive? They're drawn with a brush over an extended stretch of time, unlike photographs which capture a singular moment. The two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still while a painting moves. Portraits reveal both the past and present state of those they depict. Mel and I have always been close. I'd sing songs for him. He'd teach me about all sorts of things. He's so smart. Mel hardly even goes on walks with me. He was like, I'm an adult. But we used to spend a lot of time playing together in the rose. The white girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curled upwards as Nelly reminisced. A vision of the two happy siblings probably swelled up in her mind. I imagine there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Eddie, Nelly, you love Lord Mel quite deeply, I see. Yes, of course. Of course I do. Mel's smart and he's studious. Really kind. For my birthday, he gave me this wonderful robe. The jewelry shop he got it from is famous because the royal family makes commissions from their workshop. Yet I would order months in advance, just for me. Oh? Pretty charming, wouldn't you say? Why I call him my prince. You know what? Mel's a terrible dancer. He still hasn't gotten his feet on the ground yet. He's so bad at interacting with girls. There's no one around you. So there's no one else around who would say that about him. Gentlemen, I assume women would be drawn to him. Gentlemen, have you met Mel already? Reminds me, Mel seemed to know about her too. Think about Mel. As I said, he's a gentleman. But that's not what I meant. I think I'll let you get away with putting any funny ideas in his head. Mel's too trusting. He's terrified. I won't stand for you trying to take advantage of him. I'd never. So you say, if you actually want to get close to him. Dream of it, Lady Nelly. Man far beyond my reach. You aren't planning on doing anything, are you? You don't have any romantic feelings for him, do you? Well, do you? No romantic feelings for him, Lady Nelly. You won't develop any? With that, Nelly gave a wide, satisfied grin. No one has no way of knowing how another truly feels or how they might feel in the future. Would you? Now that I think about it, plenty of other boys. Getting together with Mel is downright absurd. Anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family. I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from or anything about your. Lady Nell, I brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. Work of a true artist, and I'm simply in love with it. Really, you'll find it to your liking as well. Oh, you're right. A Florentine stitch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked the style, or if it was imported. By the way, a great find. Let's hurry up and get it laid out. We'll have to see the colors go with everything else. We'll have to finish redecorating quickly so I can show Mel. He'll be so surprised. Oh, what wonderful taste, Nelly. The other Abigail's return, so too did the bustle within Nelly's room. And as the white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from relief at having escaped Nelly's inquisition. Or perhaps... Ah, Nelly, I'm back. Did you eat something you're not supposed to, dearest? You're unusually cheerful. The same as always. Never mind that, dearest Mel. Take a look at my room. I redecorated today. That's what you've been doing, hiding away in the house all day. No. Was that any different than what you were doing? You were in church all day. Look at your room, I promise. But first, Do you know who the new maid is? Don't get any strange ideas. I haven't had the chance to introduce myself. I thought I should as a member of the family. And I know it. Oh, being the eldest son, it would be shameful if she were to pass me in the hall, even knowing who I am, so... Don't ask me. We're in the house all day. She attends to mother. Why would I know where she is? Did help redecorate my room? Her help? That's work for manservants. There's no reason to make the maids do it. Oh, you're saying I should invite a bunch of men into my room? I go into your room all the time, Nellie? We're just in my bedchamber this morning. Only one man is left in my bedroom, dear Smell, and that's you. Unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any of them for help. Oh, Nellie, you have to be a little more.
We aren't doing phrasing. We aren't doing phrasing, are we? Apparently not. How's it going, my dude? We aren't doing phrasing. Only one man's allowed in my room. You? Their brother and sister. Oh boy, oh boy. Ellie doesn't do phrasing. That's a cute cat. Oh, you're gonna lecture me? I won't hear it. What am I going to do with you, my little lady? What? Wait, why are you looking at me like that? Talked about you, dearest Mel, and I'm not going to tell you what she said. About me? What did she say? Please, Nellie? She said that she has no romantic interest in you. Why did that even come up? We're both girls, and we talk about things like what kind of boys we like and who's the most handsome. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mel? Why do you look at a sad little boy who can't even get a crush to notice him? That face is unbecoming of a prince, Mel. Are you interested in her? That's strange, you haven't even met? I'm not. It's just depressing to find out that someone you've never met doesn't like you. That's all. Sure it is, Mel. Even I'm not buying that one, come on. I'm gonna make my move, I must do so soon. How much time? Master of the house isn't around, so next in line would be him. Painting. The painting? What about the painting? Is she here to assassinate him? I feel like there's gonna be... I feel like, given the state of the house when we first got here, there's gonna be something bad that happens in the story, right? Like, how bad does it go? Does the maid die? I'm thinking it might, like, it's gotta be worse than that, right? She's here to, like, kill him for whatever reason or something like crazy like that, right? Something's going on, right? It can't just be a normal family drama, right? Despite his near devastation by Nellie's news, Mel's flaxen eyes continued to wander in hopes of catching sight of the girl. By now, it should be quite obvious what Mel was feeling, but the boy himself was having difficulty comprehending the things going through his heart. Emotionally, he was horribly unstable, like a ship without a sail. And still, every time he spotted the white-haired girl, his heart would leap, his whole body jitter with anxiety and excitement. He'd never felt... Why did it do that? He never felt anything like this before, and as such, he struggled to keep those strange emotions in check. Whenever he saw an opportunity, Mel would speak to the white-haired girl. And despite saying that whenever he saw an opportunity, Mel would speak to the white-haired girl, it still hasn't told us her name. Days he was unable to. He either spent in secluded silence or distracted days. We've all been there, buddy. But I got a question. Why have you not asked her name yet? That should be like, at least asking someone's name. Come on, bro. We, the reader, still do not know the name of this character. Like, this guy's love interest, we still don't know the name of them, even though they've had like 3 conversations on screen. Love is a curious thing. Oh my goodness. It has the power to change those who experience it. When he did manage to approach her, he tripped over his tongue. Again and again he talked to her, and again he stumbled. Imagine if you were to take him to see a romance at the theater. In his present state, he'd cry just as much as little Nellie. We cry at tragedies because we draw parallels with our lives. That's what I think. Great tales of romance attain true gravity with the audience only when they're personally familiar with love. In any event, the white-haired girl was, as a result of this, visibly perturbed. She was delighted he was being so kind to her, but confusion overpowered every other emotion. He appeared to be at a loss for what to do as he clumsily catapulted words and stares at her. Mel did not back down, though he probably knew not what caused such fiery emotion to erupt from within his breast. One's first love in particular tends to burn like a wildfire. Are you familiar with the sensation, Master? Oh. There she is. Is she cleaning? No, it looks like she's reading. Now or never. Ah. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Lord Mel, very clearly meant to scare me. Just because you wouldn't notice me. What reading? You looked pretty engrossed. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked for permission. Oh, it's fine. No need to apologize. Feel free to read whatever you want. You're welcome to bring books back to your room if you'd like to spend more time with them. I was just amazed the mansion had a library. Been a lot of work to collect all these books. Oh, there's some pretty old books in here too. Your grandfather's? Some he collected, some older than that. Take a look at this. I think it's a diary, but not from this country. Or this century, for that matter. Maybe a feudal lord? Here he's complaining about the quality of harvest. Can this forsaken land only produce over sour grapes? Only the largest of the... Barney? One of the largest of the Barnier estates were mine instead. The land there is much more suitable to cultivation. And there you have it. You can read this, Lord Mel? More or less. I looked over it several times already, so it wasn't too difficult. Oh, it's such an old book be here? I'm not sure. Yet, and all of this was already here when I moved into the mansion. Have you not lived here your whole life? I was born at our estate. To me and Nellie, this is more like our home. We moved when I was still young, and we've lived here ever since. Nellie and Mother have both grown quite fond of it. Father, though, often goes back to the house. He isn't like all the roses. By himself? Yeah, well, sometimes Mother goes with him. For the most part, he goes alone. It's their father goes back to the house because he doesn't like the roses that their grandfather collected and planted. There must be a story behind that, right? Alright. But don't get me wrong. It's not because they don't get along. In fact, they act more like teenagers than grown adults. It almost makes me sick having to watch it. A wonderful thing to be so close, no matter how old they may be. True, but there are those in the world who cannot be with the ones they care for as they may wish. That's right, the book. What were you reading? I wasn't exactly reading. I don't enjoy reading lots of text, so I was looking at the pictures. I'm looking at the pretty pictures too, however, there is also text on this. That's how... Well, you seem very cultured. I thought you'd be partial to reading. Perhaps you're actually more like Nellie and eschew your study. Yes. I wouldn't have guessed. You like looking at pictures? Yeah. Oh, what else do you like? What do you enjoy doing? Be anything. Anything. Enjoy being told stories. Stories. Yes, when I was young, my father would tell me tales. What kinds of stories did you like? There's one about an imprisoned girl. Oh, tell it to me. Tell me the story. Once there was a girl. She was locked away in a mansion deep in the forest. A mansion with only one window. The window sat high upon the wall, far beyond her reach. It was always very dark inside, unlike the... However, the girl did not like the outside world. There were lots of scary things out there, after all. Though she may have been all alone in the mansion, she grew comfortable with the darkness, so she had nothing to be afraid of. Good job. You're doing fine. Keep going. What happens next? And then the girl grew up. By then, she had already forgotten why she was locked up. She was content with the darkness. However, her eyes couldn't help but be drawn to that little bit of light that spilled through the one window. Though she was comfortable in the darkness, the light of the light made her heart break. Okay. At first, the girl thought it was because she found it unpleasant because she disliked the light and lay outside.
But slowly she came to realize she was curious about the outside world. What could be happening out there? For all she knew, the town, the forest, the people, all of it could have changed while she was imprisoned in the mansion. They probably did, but not as much as she thinks. But she had no way of finding out. So the girl decided to write letters and throw them out the window. What began as empty grasping became routine, continuing for several months until she was finally ready to give up. But then a beautiful white dove flew in through the window. Tied to the dove's leg was a letter. Her heart racing, she read the words contained within. It seemed to have been written by a man. The letter contained numerous questions for the girl. It stated that if she attached her reply to the dove, it'd bring the letter right back to him. She was astonished, but she wrote him back anyway, taking care not to mention where she was. After having exchanged letters a number of times, the two felt very close to one another, as though they'd known each other for many years, despite having never met. And eventually, the man said he wanted to meet her? Did he want to meet her? The girl was unsure what to do. Did she tell him how she lived? Did she reveal where she spent her days? She was afraid if she did, he would cease to send her letters. She was sure he believed her to be a young lady of noble blood, and not a girl locked away in a house deep in the forest. The girl couldn't bring herself to write a response. She released the dove through the window with nothing attached to its leg, and yet it returned with another letter written in the man's familiar hand. You must surely have grave reason for your silence, it said. I'd like to know what reason. I'd like to help you. No matter what it may be, you have my word. She deliberated. Though his letters were kind, she did not know the man. He was from the outside. Would he still treat her the same way when he met her? Did she even want to step out into the world beyond? What do you think she did? Well, I think she wrote a letter and agreed to meet him, right? Depends on whether or not she actually wants to leave. If she doesn't want to leave, that place won't happen, right? Girl made up her mind. She'd write a letter. As always, when she tied to the dove's leg, it flew off out the window. For some time after that, she received no response from them. It saddened her, but she thought it was for the best. She belonged in her own confined world, the world of dark. One day, light shone into the mansion. The sealed door had been opened, and in the doorway stood a handsome young man. Come for you, he said. The man was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. What are the odds of that? He sends out a random dove. The girl stepped outside. Before her sat a magnificent carriage, the likes of which she'd never seen, accompanied by many servants. The prince, kind as in the letters, bore his love to her. The two lived happily ever. Wasn't that a believable story? Nice story. I'm glad it had a happy ending. Prince. There's something funny about the story? No, that's not why I was laughing. You ever imagine what it'd be like if Prince showed up for you? Doesn't have to be a real prince. Someone just like one. That's something you dream. Perhaps a little too. Oh, you think so, Nellie? Nellie still fantasizes about her prince, and she's 14. I just assumed all girls were the same. Hey, Nellie's prince. That's you, Lord Mel. Just didn't know. I mean, we used to play make-believe a lot when we were kids, but I doubt she thinks of me that way in earnest. She calls me her prince now. It's mostly in jest, I think. Weren't? That would be concerning. If it weren't, that would be concerning. Saying that. Oh. That story. Do you know if it's a regional tale? Once been passed through the ages? It could very well be my father's own creation. I think be conceited, but I think the story might be... The girl trapped in the mansion is you. Been locked up anywhere before, have you? No, thankfully I've never been locked up before. Oh, thank goodness. With an appearance like mine, I can sympathize with her being afraid of the outside. I've at times imagined how wonderful life would be. Were only me. The girl left the house in the end. If your father really wrote that story, I believe it contains his hope for you to end up the same way. I don't know what it takes to be a real prince and whisk you away, but I can at least pretend. If it was your father's wish for you to see the outside world, surely there's nothing wrong with you getting out and experiencing all the scenery. See the outside too, right? be more specific, other countries. So, if you'd like, we go see distant lands. Oh, dearest Mel, I've been looking all over for you. Yes, dearest Mel, Mother bought me these wonderful flowers to wear, wonderful gloves to wear on walks. Roses embroidered on the wrist are just so precious. You appear to be dizzy, Lord Mel. You feeling unwell? Mel was feeling frustrated at his feelings to her. And as his frustration built over time, he developed, I suppose you could call it, a severe case of love sickness. Several consecutive nights he had been afflicted with a peculiar sensation, a presence in his bedchamber. An holy one. Death to the heretic. Death to the witch. Blood. Kill. Wait, who are we killing? He's trying to get us to kill the pale girl? Whose name we still haven't been told? I want to. Not eating? Steal off the tower. Understood? No one finds out about this. How can you be so calm? Don't you understand what you've done? Pinning the blame on me. Ha, must be nice to be able to distort reality with panic. You're just as guilty as any of us. I never wanted her to die. And yet, here they have killed someone. The witch killed her. The blood of the witch killed my. Someone's dead. Someone's dead. Twist and turn, and he's having nightmares. A dream. It was horribly unsettling. The past of the mansion. This is weird because we are a character. We're not seeing character's perspective at any. The initial story structure was weird, and I thought it was going to be very short stories, but I'm not sure how long the story actually will, since it's taken quite a few scenes. Right, we'd had like a really short scene, then we had a couple years time skip, and then we kind of just proceeded after like like some discussion about the second part of the story. Probably unsettling. I was holding someone, a girl I cared for deeply in my arms. Who was dead. I've been having a lot of unpleasant lately. Shaking. Why would I have such a dream? If it feels sick, back to sleep. Wonder. I can sense someone standing beyond. Someone there. You're watching. Just my imagination. I can't move. What? Sound is growing fainter. That's really what you're. Father. Magnificent garden. Something we could never have. Are my intentions? Beautiful white rose. No, you could have snuck into the room rather. I'll pay me anyway. I shan't condemn you, no matter what you might do. Rather, I'm on yours. That's so. Perhaps you were out for a late night? I imagine you have less difficulty going outside at night. Beg your pardon. I'll return to the mansion. Yes, that reminds me. It was also the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into the. News that spread quite far. I'm sure you've heard about it. Hello, Tomash in prison. Hear me, I'm having trouble remembering. Or not, if you wish for it, the mansion shall provide. You're in no danger whatsoever of getting that a witch lived in the mansion did. Does that sound perhaps a bit archaic to you? I believe those rumors mockingly refer to me. I've been accused of being a witch before. Using, I don't have any magic powers. I simply have an unusual.
White rose turned red.
Why would it? Something the matter? Rose is white. Well, I took it in my hand. That's so. I apologize, I must sound mad. Or I was just mistaken. Couldn't possibly have changed. The girl locked in the mansion become a prince. What? You should lock up and head to bed. Make sure all the shutters are closed nice and tight, and then draw the bar on the front door.
Suspicious. Very suspicious. Alright. Okay, slowly but surely, time treks onwards, everyone working towards their own individual goals. Each early summer breeze that blew through the garden was like God's hallowed breath carrying the flowers' fragrance in through Rose Manor. Only time could be stopped in this beautiful era made to live on through eternity. As usual, Mel's eyes chased after the white-haired girl, whose name he still hasn't asked, even once. Nellie pursed her lips in frustration at him. She was still rather docile. Even taking into account how self-centered she behaved, how fickle her temper, Nellie's fits were still no worse than a playful kitten. The way it's describing it is like saying that it's like trying to build tension by implying that it's currently no worse than a playful kitten, but like it could or is getting worse. That's kind of the vibe I'm like trying to find. Where's the story going? At that very moment, our lively little feline had her claws poised to swat at the flaxen-haired young man. You promised me. Have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten. I'm just asking if we can go another day. Another day. Then something happens every day. I've been looking forward to tonight's performance for so long. And we're having a gathering at the priest's home tonight. Several high-ranking officials have come up from the mainland just for this. Who cares? I care. No, Nellie. It doesn't have to be me. Oh, I want to go with you, Mel. So distant lately. Yes, Mel? Refuse to do anything with me. Tell me, you can't go today. When can you go? When will you be willing to go with me? Will you be willing to play cards with me? Or have tea together? I have things to do. Obligations. Nellie, you're almost an adult yourself. That's your child. I am not an adult yet. I'm still a kid. And if it means I don't get to play with you anymore, dear Smith, I don't want to be an adult. Nellie, you can't. Nellie, Master wishes to speak with you. Apologize? Why would he? Go on, Nellie. Can't make Father wait. He's particular about people who keep their appointments. Yes, he is. Unlike you, dearest Mel. We're in such a... Thank goodness for small miracles. Nellie just won't seem to take me at my word lately. Mustn't be. Your one and only darling little. She's been a bit far of late. Oh. She doesn't seem to be behaving any differently. The one acting different. Oh, enough about it. Can I ask you a favor? What can I do for you? I was thinking. Physically, Mel was undeniably a young man, but the smirk that crossed his lips as he schemed gave his face the sweet look of a little boy. Perhaps it was simply part of his charm. It was not the age disparity, but his character that made his smile so heartwarming. What did he ask of me? Well, find out soon enough. Now, the dark-haired maid there is the character guiding us and narrating.
Thank goodness for that. That would be even better. Textile shop is around. Hi there. Fancy to see. Whoa. What do you say we take this chance to go for a little nice shift to sunlight? Our eyes out for shadowy air. Feel unwell, just let me know. This is where you get a parasol, right? Oh, don't worry about that. Come on, follow me. We're walking together. Sorry. Actually, he should have had a parasol. Actually, it was an accident. We crossed paths. Something said ahead of time. I asked you to sent out on a fake errand. Feels like I'm always on alert back at the mansion. Can't relax in my house. That was inappropriate. I just thought since the sun's mostly blocked out, it'd be alright if... Should I get her at this? And I can't think of anything to say. Classy. Hey, you've settled into life at the mansion? Everyone's been such a big help. Here. Like, it does nothing. So, yes. Ellie told me she had you help redecorate her room sometime back. Oh, that was shortly after I arrived. What yeah, that day Nellie told me, don't, fine, sorry, it's not important. I can't ask how she feels about me. That'd make it sound like I sound like I do, don't I? Sorry, I had something on my mind. Looks like it might rain. Weather usually gets better as summer approaches, not worse like it has been. Won't be a heavy storm though. No? The wind's too gentle. I can leave it. Oh, that's... I often leave the house unprepared, only to find myself sloshing back in the rain. Laugh a lot more than me. I like that. You look better with a smile on your face. Smile suits Lady Nellie more than I. Smile and yours are completely different. Well, Lord Mel. Think so? Supposed to do in the face of a smile like that. Her, if I ask if I'm imposing, she'll say no without hesitation. Trying to cover myself isn't getting me anywhere. Well, hold on a second. I never got you those flowers like I promised. There was a single white rose blooming in the garden. I was planning to give it to you, but it appeared before I had the chance. I'd like you to have this. Not a real rose, but it won't wilt either. Elle was holding an ornamental white rose. It was an impressively detailed replica of the real thing, crafted by an incredibly skilled artisan's hand. It was, I imagine, made by the same craftsman from whom Mel had ordered Nellie's birthday necklace. The young man who, but a handful of days earlier, had said he had no sweetheart, coming to commission a present for a girl. The master of the shop must have been quite surprised. Or perhaps it had given him a good laugh instead. It was for this moment he so desperately sought for time together with the white-haired girl. I don't know what she likes. I had to base it on my sister's. I apologize. I accept this. The design not to your liking. No, I just concerned about how much I paid for it, Toby. I just want you to have it, that's all. Because... Sorry, I can't accept it. A clear glint of frustrated panic was visible in her red eyes. Not a girl in the world whose heart would not flutter at the sight of a sparkling rose accessory, but her reaction was far from delight. As a matter of fact, there were traces of fear and apprehension in her countenance. That's not what you're looking for. You're like,
got this cute maid, and I'll give her some flowers or some fancy jewelry. No, no, fear and apprehend. Okay, well, I guess she's not into you, buddy.
I beg your pardon.
Wait, hold on. The look of distress on her face, the white-haired girl made to run off, but Mel grabbed her by the arm in the nick of time.
Please tell me why. Does he dislike me? Never said. Nothing's wrong with me. From the day you arrived at the mansion, I feel like I haven't been myself. I've been strangely aflutter ever since then. When I try to study or whether I try to read, none of it sticks. Just looking at the pages of text, tracing rows of letters only for them to disappear as soon as I look away. Oh, it's all because of you. I just truly am sorry. Please don't be any more generous than you already have. You know my willpower wavers? What do you mean by that? Wait.
Mel's grip loosened for a moment, allowing her to slip free and dart off like a gust of wind, not giving him a chance to stop her a second time. The dumbfounded flaxen-haired boy stood frozen in place, left all by himself. The breeze, which the white-haired girl had called gentle earlier, felt faintly chilly, almost as if mocking him. Even less fond of me than I thought.
Pathetic.
Well, if it isn't Mel, what might you be? You crying?
Pitiful. Sorry you had to see this.
Oh, think nothing of it. I passed by a girl a few moments ago. She appeared to be rather distressed as well. Something happened between the two of you?
I wasn't good enough. It's
not good enough? That was the new maid I was telling you about before. I was, like I said, Father, I was keen on her.
Quite.
Enough to bring me to tears like a miserable child. You rejected me. I don't even have what it takes to be a student prince. Well, I apologize for complaining to you about this, so completely hopeless. Please don't try to cheer me up. I don't need sympathy, I just... Oh, Mel, listen to me. I've seen that girl before. What do you mean? But you said she was a servant at your house, right? In which case... Yes, she is. Tell me, Father, where'd you see her? Oh, stupid, so evasive. Probably someone else. Someone else? Saying you mistook her, someone who stands out as much as her? Father. And a man I assume is her father paid a visit to the church once. They came asking for food, their clothes in tatters. Two were emaciated. I don't think they were eating daily. What? Wait a minute, are you saying... Beggar. Father said she came from an esteemed home. That's why I said I might be mistaken, Mel. She has a singular aspect, but it's possible there's another girl who looks similar. Deep down, though, the priest surely believed the opposite. And so he said sternly, like teacher to pupil, "You must be absolutely certain, Mel. Understood? You cannot proceed further without knowing her ancestry." May I visit the church, Father? By all means. In the back of Mel's mind, a vision of the night of the storm. The night the white-haired girl arrived at the mansion was surely replaying. She had been wearing little more than rags covered in grime, hardly the appearance of a respectable young lady of class. I've been putting her through unnecessary stress. She actually turns out to be nameless, rankless. No matter where she comes from, my heart's decided. I won't fool myself about how I feel in it. I cannot fool myself. No. How does she feel? What will everyone else think? I have to find out why she was welcomed into our home. I'll ask Mother or Father, or if for some reason they don't know she isn't aristocratic, I'm better off not saying anything. They don't. Does that mean she's been lying to them? I gotta find out. This time I must get answers. She's been bitching out for I don't know how long. It says days, but it hasn't been a year yet, right? No, absolutely not. I must come back. And the first thing you say is that. I hate you, Father. I will not stand for this. Why? Why would you just suddenly throw that on me? And ask for my opinion? I'll do it. Fine, the way things are, I'm just fine. I'm fine. Need your help.
I don't want to get married.
I mean, we saw that coming, right? We saw that. Mel, Mel mentioned it. Mel mentioned it 3 months later. Happens. Can't be too surprised.
It may seem sudden, but I must confess I made a grave mistake. My transgression is I was unable to completely predict where this path we were traveling led. My hands were full dealing with my immediate day-to-day tasks. I could do naught but pray there was happiness waiting in the future. Happiness for everyone who lived within the Rose Manor. But I am but a mere maid. There are limits to what I'm allowed to do. And furthermore, it was not my place to offer her my hand. Roads such as the one we were following have a way of diverging with little warning. If you do not turn the wheel exactly right at those sudden forks, you may end up somewhere horribly off course. I was well aware of that fact. That's why I thought that what I did was for the best. Again, the door was closed, but I can sense someone standing there. Someone watching me. Steps. They look down at me. I want to open my eyes, but I can't do it. You're gonna leave without doing anything, aren't you? Hurry up and get down, Eddie. Free me from this. Neither. We're on my bed now. They're looking down at me. My neck. Can't move. Cold finger. Soft breath. Move my body, but that's not important right now.
White-haired girl. The white-haired girl's in his bedroom. All right.
Smell of rose. Scent of a world far removed.
Made to gasp at the sight before him, only to realize he could not. Pressure of her cold fingertips wrapped around his throat robbed him almost entirely of the ability to breathe.
Why?
Silently mouthed the word. For that moment, at least, melancholic ruby eyes were focused wholly on the flaxen-haired young man. In them glowed a faint flicker of willpower and a consciously or continuously burning agitation that roused her to action. Don't you stop being so kind to me?
I... Dude, don't make any noise.
I'll be over soon.
End to this family. Phew.
Upon hearing Mel's words, the strength drained from her slender fingers. He'd not been questioning why she'd do such a thing. There was, of course, a trace of bewilderment visible in his eyes. But he didn't shout, nor did he tremble in fear. He instead expressed concern for the young woman who looked like a cornered rabbit.
Not shaking.
You are, I can see it. As he slowly regained his breath, Mel's voice, too, grew clearer. Conversely, the red-eyed girl's grew progressively more faint and raspy. You're not doing this because you want to. There's some other reason.
Desire?
Have you been to my room before?
Have. I'll be damned.
Tell me, why are you shaking? You're not putting any pressure on my neck. I can't fathom why you'd do this, so I'm not afraid. You so deeply, you want me dead. You despise me to the point you'd be willing to take my life with your own hand. Like I said, there's another reason. If it isn't because you detest me, then tell me why is it? Hurry up. Do my best not to bother you further. Forget any. Think I'm gonna say okay and let you go? Can't you tell me the reason? Sorry. Alright then. I'll try and guess. What? It has something to do with your lineage. You're troubled by it somehow. Am I right? How do you know about that? The priest at the church told me he'd seen. He also told me a little bit about your origin. The only difference between us is social, right? I don't know what would cause you to do that. Tell me who you really are. Tell me why you came to the mansion. Why father allowed you to be a maid. I haven't said anything. You're hiding the truth from them. They still don't know. I want to. Get mad at you or have you punished? I'll even swear to God if you'd like. I want to be the prince who whisks you. I want to be like the prince who rescued the girl from the dark mansion and showed her the world. I know I'm not that dependable, but... Show me such... Why do you treat me like that?
Put my hand around your neck. Thought it would be up. Or have I not expressed myself well enough? Love you. Every time you push away, it crushes. Didn't even know my heart could feel such distress. If you dislike me and don't want to be with me, I'll just... Much as it might. But if you have some other reason or some weight on your shoulder you can't share with anyone else, I want to help you. Those are options. Things we can do about your... No, that's not it. Tried to hit you. Yes, there's more to it, more than just social shit. I can't do it. I couldn't make myself do it. So many chances, but I couldn't do it. Spoke in a stifled voice, as if every word had to fight to escape her lips. She appeared so fragile, so precarious looking down on him, that it seemed as though if a gust of wind were to whisk through the room, it would blow her away completely. Her pale fingers were trembling, like she had tried to squeeze them again and failed. However, her hand didn't pull away from his still slender neck. Hand. He didn't challenge her, but simply kept his eyes affixed on her as if carefully watching to see what she would do next. I say it as many times as I must. I wouldn't be able to accept losing you without knowing anything. Please tell me the reason, and I'll see to it you're taken care of. Those are the words of a man of me, Lord Mal, or someone blessed enough to have pity. You're a foolish young man. You know nothing. The greatest fool of all, myself. You agreed to punish me, I'll talk. Tell me. Her long white hair and his soft flaxen hair touched. For the briefest of moments it appeared in the darkness as though they had fused together. The white-haired girl, finally having gathered the courage, began to slowly tell her tale. Alright, finally, we got some progress. Or will they, won't they? Something might happen. On the night of the storm, I paid a visit to Rose Manor, this mansion. My father and I were always on the move, traveling across land by foot. Only recently we heard rumors of the Rose Manor. For several reasons we couldn't stay in one place. First, my unusual appearance. People often find the color of my skin and eyes just... After living in one place for long enough, unsettling rumors would begin to spread, forcing us to... Another reason was my father's line of work. He painted pictures for a living. We had trouble finding patrons, we had to work day to day. When he was no longer able to find work in a city, we were birds that migrated without a flock. When we arrived at this town, my father was exhausted and weak. And that's when we learned of Rose Manor, the family that dwelled within it. Rhodes is the name my father could never forget. He was long ago a painter in the service of the Rhodes. Father was an artist? Yes. It was before I was born, so you probably don't remember, Lord Mal. You about us before we came here? For as long as I can remember, I've known the name Rhodes. My father was chased away from your house. They didn't like something he painted. Having failed the Rhodes family, no one else would become his patron. Just as a good reputation spreads, so too does a bad one. Branded once a failure, no one will take you in ever again. You nobles throw your parties and spread your gossip about this painter or that sculptor. The rose you tried to give me is an example of that. It was certainly crafted with skill, but the jeweler is only known because some aristocrat spoke highly of him. My father's paintings were no less skillful. It was a talent they could not easily imitate. But no one was willing to separate the art from the artist. The Rhodes family stole everything from my father. Even thrown out onto the streets, his only skill was painting. It was all he could do to earn a living. The little money we had for food he gave to me. He did anything he could to ensure my survival, even at the expense of his own well-being. He passed away in this town. Up until his last breath, he was only ever... He held me in his arms and ran his fingers through my hair, an apologetic look. If I had a normal appearance, I'm sure life would have been much easier. He was always telling me how sorry he was for making life so hard, even though it's not his fault I look like. I disdained the Rhodes family for putting us, my father, through such hardship. I imagined you were still living in decadence, acting like nothing happened. You wouldn't even care about the fate of us. Our lives mean... And so I sought to bring misfortune upon you, and... You tried to kill me. Truth, I wanted to take the master's life, but your father spent so much time outside the... So... Right. They lost me, but my family in a very difficult... That's the whole of my time. But my father, how I feel about you. Having told you the blackness of my heart, I can't go on living. Please, give me punishment. Would you have me put the one I love through any more misery? Fit for your... Not only because I'm not aristocrat, because every time I spoke with you, I did so holding... Was that not a... And it was my family's actions that caused you so much. Would that your father were still alive, perhaps I could have... Sorry. Besides, you hesitated. You didn't actually kill me. I to punish you for it. As you said, you had countless opportunities, but you couldn't bring yourself to do it. Tell me why you couldn't kill me. It's because I've given you enough reason. The slightest bit of interest in me. Nothing as I assumed the residents would be cold, people who had believed that wealth and rank mattered above all. But on the night of the storm, the mistress was the first to extend her hand to me. I arrived at the mansion disguised as a beggar. Actually, disguised isn't quite the right word. Many nights I only survived on the generosity. Mistress didn't send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite. She took me in as a servant. I seriously believe she invited a stranger into her home. She would treat a stranger with such compassion. Thought perhaps she knew who my father was. But I'd never met any of you before, so she was that kind-hearted a woman. And the mistress continued to treat me with kindness despite my disquieting appearance in darkness. In time, I began to grow less and less sure of myself. What I meant to do, what I was meant to do, really right? Were the actions I felt truly justified? It was a certain fact my father was here and that he'd been chased out, so I decided I should take your life and put an end to everything before I wavered further. And then... Oh, you're... You laugh with such affection, you give me smiles, say the things you say. Sorry. Don't apologize. Need to hear that. Despite the unusual circumstance. Don't say you want to leave. Don't ask me to punish you. I couldn't do anything for your father, but allow me to do something for the daughter he cared for. I'll be happier with you. I'm a real aristocrat. There's families that would be willing to, especially knowing it'd bring them ties to the Rhodes family and thing. As long as you're okay with that, of course. I understand how I could possibly say I have my hand around your neck as we speak. Well, it's desperately looking for some way. Any etiquette or social customs? That can all be learned. You're pretty and unnaturally graceful. You'll do just fine. Such an aristocrat, Lord. With compliments so easily. Nellie says my poetry has as much charm as a dissertation. I understand. Thank goodness. Keep smiling. You don't have to stop. A smile on your face is a smile on mine. No matter how deep the darkness that's taken root in your heart, it can always be removed. I believe people are capable of forging their own futures. What do you say we go to the theater sometime? I promise I won't sleep through it. At the private theater, we can get seats at the far end of the second floor so we don't have to stand. They're pretty lavish seats. It'd give you a chance to experience the whole noble life. But don't be shy. I can have clothes prepared for you. I'll ask one of the maids to keep a secret. Say the one, black hair. Kinda scares me though. I don't know. How could you show such compassion for me? I try to. Am I allowed to feel such joy? For every day you suffered, a day of happiness. That's how it has to be. Stand by my side. He softly whispered the girl's name. The girl's name! They still haven't told us. For several long moments, her lips trembled in trepidation, but at times she squeezed them together and made a smile. He wrapped his arms around her, unbelievably slender, frail frame, holding her tight in an affectionate embrace. Nell approached me the next day. He explained to me the course of events and asked me to dress her up more beautifully than any other noble girl had ever been. She was already a very pretty girl, so even without much effort on my part, simply putting her in a dress, she radiated beauty. I was quite partial to her smile, so I agreed to help, thinking it would lead to their happiness. So I couldn't ask for anything more. I never anticipated what would happen next time. Perhaps my hopes were unreasonable, girl. Alright, Nellie. Nellie, you love the theater. Don't look so cross. Nellie was out with a man other than her brother that evening. A rare sight indeed, and the person she apparently loathes the most. Quite clearly in a foul mood. And for this, but I should have to marry a man Disagreeable as Arthur. Unthinkable. That young man at her side was Nellie's fiancé, selected by her parents. On any other occasion, she would have snubbed an invitation from any man who was not Mel, but she had little say in this matter. She was, for lack of a better word, forced to go out with him. Oh, how furiously she had fought against it. She had shoved aside the Abigail trying to fasten her corset, locked herself in her room, and sobbed for quite some time. It required the combined efforts of several of us to get her ready and out the door for her date. Come now, you should pretend you're enjoying yourself. Or do you want people to think we don't get along? Oh, do we get along? Well, I want to, for what it's worth. Oh, what it's worth. You is my name, not me. You're really gonna be like that? I went out of my way to take you to your favorite play. The least you could do is be a bit kinder to me. What's it called again? Oh, Romeo and Juliet? It's been running for 6 or 7 years now. A family like yours or mine could pay to have a brand new script written. Why should we have to see an old play at a theater full of commoners?
Just think. The man is this uncultured. He must be new money. He may be private, but even so. I'd rather have a show put on at my estate. Now bear in mind, if you just popped in, we did verify the year this is taking place is before Shakespeare's death. So, if Romeo and Juliet is actively on, there is a high probability that we got like one of the most famous playwrights personally overseeing this one. Good old Shakespeare. We're not just seeing Romeo and Juliet. We're seeing Romeo and Juliet put on by Shakespeare. And the man's whining. Have a show put on my stage. Actually, that would be one he should have tried to do. Just hire him. Oh, stop talking already. Why should I have to marry someone like you? Absolutely no desire to marry you. I will put a stop to this. I'll talk to father as many times as I must. Please don't make such shame. There are people around. Represent your family. Besides, our families are hardly strangers to one another. Try as you might, I doubt you can get rid of me. No matter what you say, you can't break this engagement. Oh, don't. Your parents gave you too much freedom, and look what a spoiled little girl you became because of... Goodness, you're gonna be quite the handful. Oh, get off your high horse. No, you're the one on a high horse, no. You're gonna be my wife. You can at least put some effort into liking me. What happens when I take you to a social engagement and you act like this? Shameful to the both. This coming from someone who used to call me Lady Nellie. What's your problem? When you choose to act like a lady, I'll gladly call you that again. Goodness. Here's how my shoes for a second. I have to marry a bratty little girl because it'll help my family. How dare you talk about me that way? Not a damned princess. Open your eyes. You think talking about your father will get you out of this marriage? You're welcome to try. I doubt he'll have it though. Otherwise, you can just go complain about it to your friends. Oh, that's right. As far as I'm aware, you don't have any friends. Enough. Frustrating. Why should I have to listen to this jerk mock me? I have Mel. I know. If father won't listen to me, I'll have Mel to talk to him. Mel will be able to convince him. Come now, your favorite play's about to start. Maybe you should face forward. Enjoy well, you won't be talking down to me much longer. Wait, Nellie! Nellie, get back here. What's that damn child's problem? I didn't give her permission to leave. Father will be sure. Father will be sure to hear what's... I need to change... wait, if he's gonna say a line like that, I gotta change who I'm visualizing here. We're going straight to Draco Malfoy now. My father will be sure to hear about this. I cannot have the roads making any more of a fool of me. You're fine, don't you? People are looking at me. That's because you're gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, you look straight. I assure you, that's not the case. It is true, you have an unusual appearance. Right now, the unique color of your hair, your skin, and your eyes all serve to wear. I'm like a prince, so... You think so? I mean, I did say I'd be a stand-in prince for you, but... You're a wonderful prince, not just... Makes you my princess, that
Yes, I am there. You're gonna make me sad. I, I guess I'll just keep working at it until you. Oh, hey, the play's about to start. Nothing in. Back and enjoy the show. If I start dozing off, could you maybe wake me up? Dear smell. Dear smell. What are you doing here? I asked her to join me. Nothing to get worked up over. It absolutely is. How many times did I ask you to come with me? And you wouldn't. You didn't even like theater, dear smell, and you brought her. Not especially fun to play as, but I wanted her to be able to see one. Are you making such a big deal of this, Nelly? She's not suitable for you. She isn't good enough for you. Why would you choose her? She's creepy, and you have no idea where she came from. Don't talk about her like that, Nelly. But you don't even know who her family is. It's fine. Like the other maids, she comes from a respectable house. I looked into it. However, circumstances prevent me from telling you what house that is. You're lying. It can't be. She doesn't act like a lady. She lacks etiquette. She probably can't even dance. You expect me to leave someone like hers for a good house? Enough already, Nell. Oh, yelled at me. Have my word. You don't have to worry about her. Any of your business if I spend time with her, is it? Stop hanging all over me, Nelly. Find someone for... Wait. What are you doing at the theater? Are you alone here? Yes, dear, no, about that. I have a favor to ask of you. I like how she shows up. They both meet at the theater. They meet at the theater, and her first thought is to run up to him and insult his girlfriend, and then ask for a favor. Like, come on, bro. Nobody is gonna be in the mood to do any favors for you after you insult them. After you go and piss them off for like no reason. Admittedly, though, she's definitely the kind of person who wouldn't think that through and would. There's a good chance she would actually do that. I don't think that's out of character. I just think it's not a very great plan because she probably didn't have anything in mind when she ran over here. Actually, I've been waiting to talk to you about this since yesterday, but I haven't seen you at all. Settle down, Nelly. What is it? Father has had me engaged without consulting me. He picked Arthur, that disagreeable little... Right about that. I already knew. What? I heard it from Father. Reminds me, you didn't show up at breakfast this morning. I see now. It was because of your engagement. Oh, here is now. That who you're here with today? In that case, you just get back to him rather than waste any more time with us. I didn't want to get married, Mel. Why? Why did you talk Father out of it? Because it's your time, Mel. If there's someone else you'd rather be with, you can try persuading Father, but... You're the only prince for me, dearest Mel. The prince always grants his princesses. Isn't he? I just want you to say you'll do it for me, dearest Mel. You stay out of this. It's all your fault. All because you showed up and played your little tricks on him. I warned you about this rat, dearest Mel. She's not suitable for... And I told you I had enough already. Oh, she got slapped. How much longer are you going to continue acting like a child? I can deal with you being a spoiled little girl, but how dare you be so derisive to someone else? I didn't emphasize dare. He emphasized dare. Oh, hit me. Lord, now. Go on, the show's about to start. People are giving us dirty looks. Turn to your betrothed now. I'll apologize to him afterwards as well. That you'd always be our prince. Time for make-believe is past, Nelly. No, I refuse to believe it. I will not have it. Nelly? My goodness, that girl. Are you not going to go after her, Lord Mel? let her go. The only place she even has to go is home. I just wish she'd start acting a little adult. I imagine Lady Nellie simply... What? It wasn't my intention to get between you. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault we had an argument. You are so close. We're siblings. We're close, but nothing more. I do care about Nellie and I enjoy spending time with her, but she's my sister. Anyway, sorry for making such a scene. Oh, I imagine she left her betrothed behind without saying anything, so I'm gonna go apologize to him. Keep up appearances. Stay here, I'll be right back. Very well. What are your thoughts on the tale so far? Which of the siblings do you think was in the right, master? Brother or the sister? Oh, I apologize for the abrupt question. I mean, it's not a bad question. Okay. So, what do we think of the story so far? And who do we think was right? I think the story was interesting. I wasn't sure what to expect. I guess some 17th century romance, or told from like an unusual perspective. It's not first person or like or like second person. It's like third person omniscient at all times, with occasional interjections from the first person of someone who's there. It's like a weird way to tell it's like a little bit unusual to tell the story based on how many stories I've read of this genre, or of this flavor, but I'm expecting this to end in tragedy because the music is not suggesting that this will be a happy story or like a nice drama. It's suggesting a tragedy somewhere. So like I'm expecting something to go poorly. Right, they keep hinting that things are going to go poorly, but it's playing out as like a normal romance so far. So you kind of got to wait and see how it goes badly, right? That said, who I think is right. We are talking 17th century, so we are just leaving the late Middle Ages. We're in the era of sail, aren't we? Hundreds, 100 year after Columbus. Of Shakespeare. This is a good period to be. Or okay period to be in. I don't know. I don't know if the sister is right. I mean, I want to say from my perspective, I feel like 14, like making marriage decisions before 14 is like probably really, really hard to do. I feel like it'd be really hard to actually make a good decision before your father tries to arrange something, or like meet people. Like that'd be like really stressful and hard to do. So like I don't know if she's the right to. I think you could argue that, like, you know, like nowadays I would say she's probably in the right because there's no real rush. She's 14. Who cares? That's silly to like arrange that early. But like from the perspective of the era she's in, I mean I guess maybe maybe she could be she's in the wrong. Because she's living like an okay life, I guess. That's kind of where it's like in the argument they're having. I feel like she's 100% the wrong, because she started out by insulting his company and then demanded assistance and was mad when he didn't provide it or hadn't already provided it. But he'd also already on multiple occasions told her like she needs to be thinking about this thing, and she hadn't really. Like I can understand that like a 13, 14-year-old girl is probably not mature enough to like actually analyze all this tactically. But I think based on the standards of their time, he's probably in the right. I think he's probably in the right based on the standards of his time. And I think her approach was bad, but she's also 14. I don't know whether having proper decorum and like tactically thinking like that is the thing you expect of 14-year-olds, even in this era. Like I don't know that one. I think for his era, he's definitely 100%, 150% in the right for the argument.
He also started by insulting the wrong things. I think if you wanted to insult his girlfriend safely, going after her questionable lineage would probably like a good choice in terms of like effectively arguing, but also like pretty insulting, and you wouldn't want to ever bring that up if he actually like got approval from her parents or whatever. 100% wouldn't want to bring that up. But I'm like, the first thing she did is like, oh, she looks ghoulish, and you're like, ah, yes, the perfect excuse to not marry someone. They look ghoulish, and I'm like, these people are both like middling nobility, I guess. They're like middle nobility. So you're like, I'm pretty sure tactical marriages. It's like tactical marriages are still in vogue here. So the appearance of the person he's marrying, not sure that matters. I'm not sure that matters. And she goes that way, and it's like, oh, well, now you're just insulting him, right? Like, that's just a direct insult to him and his tastes, right? Which seems like you just immediately puts you in the wrong, even if your argument's okay. Like, the argument that you don't know her lineage is actually, like, really strong. I think that argument actually works. You can be like, dude, that's not good for the family, like, you know, the argument would be like, we should be marrying for like the good of the family. I have to marry this jackass, and you get to marry like this random who knows what. Like, how is this even fair? Why does this make sense? Right, like all that jazz. I think that kind of works. Like, that is a good argument. If they're like in an argument, it's like, oh, you gotta marry whoever the hell you want. I gotta get stuck with this asshole that I actively hate. Like, come the hell on, right? Like, that would work. That would kind of work, but like, she didn't really start with that, and I think that would have been like a good way to approach it. Again, I also don't want to. I feel like it's hard to give someone fault when they're supposed to be 14. Like, this person's supposed to be 14, so when they make impulsive decisions, I'm not like impulsive decisions or like a little bit bratty. I'm kind of just like, oh, like I'm talking down. I'm looking at like some child making this decision. Like, oh yeah, they're being dumb and impulsive. Like, oh yeah, I guess they're 14. I mean, sure, whatever. It's a little bit harder to be mad at her. Sorry for the abrupt question. Startling. What do I think? Yes, I believe Mel was probably right. He was also surely happier than her. As Mel had anticipated, Nellie fled from the theater, leaving her fiancé behind. She forced her way into a carriage, stopped outside, probably one called for a different nobleman, and ordered it to take her home. His assumption was correct. The only place she had to return to was the mansion. The sun was beginning to set, and as a young lady, she could not simply go wandering through town alone. Nor did she have any acquaintances to take her in. Her world was, in essence, composed of two elements, her brother and the Rose Garden. They were the light of her life at the Rose Manor. She lived a very isolated existence. She escaped back home. Nellie went straight to her room, locked the door, and began sobbing. The waves of her sorrow came crashing effortlessly over the levees. Tears streamed through the cracked walls of the dams, blocking her tear ducts. Why? Why? Won't you help me, Mel? Won't you take my side? The decor in her room appeared blurry through her damp eyes. Memories of the days she had it redecorated played back in her mind with crystal clarity. She told me she had no feelings for you. Liar. That liar. She let her emotions run wild, breaking glass craftwork, silver plates designed by famous foreign artists, flower vases, all sorts of things. It was as though a beast had been set loose in the chamber. The vase she tossed shattered against a painting hanging on the wall, spraying water, porcelain, and roses in every direction. It was the portrait she adored so dearly of her and her brother. In what appeared to be like a metaphor for her life, the frame fell off its mounting and came crashing to the floor. Nellie darted over and scooped it up. The frame had broken, but the painting inside was unharmed. The two smiling children were still the very image of happiness, inseparable siblings gently holding one another's hand. Princess Noble. Though in her present state of mind, the image of happiness brought her nothing but misery, and the worse she felt, the more frustrated she grew at the smiling girl and kind boy of her past.
The princess is no more either. You're not a princess anymore, Nellie. Some other woman's taken your place. I trusted you, Nell. I trusted you, Mel. I believed you'd always be there for me. Painting is nothing but a lie. It's not the real Mel. Not the real me. All a big fat lie. A lie. I wish this painting never existed. It was never made. That I'd never had a brother. I never had a brother. This painting. In a fit of emotional distress, she scratched feverishly at the painting she once considered precious. Put more force into her fingers than she or perhaps anyone might have imagined she could. Flakes of paint began falling off the canvas, and in time she noticed something peculiar. Huh? Is this writing? This is writing. Something's hidden behind the paint. Just a little more. A date? How would that be hidden? What could it be for? Completed May 1587? That is 13 years. Was it 1602 this took place in? Or 1606? It's like, it's a while back. 1587. Read aloud the faded, scratched up handwriting. After staring blankly at the text for some time, the color in her face began to drain. How? This had been painted 16 years ago. I wasn't even born yet. The whole would have just been a baby.
Oh shit, the painting? The paint. This is one of the paint. This might have been the painting the guy got fired for. We've only had like 2 paintings in existence referenced. I mean, you could have put that together earlier, but hey, I never said I was a genius, or that we'd be breaking down small mysteries like this. Okay. So this was painted before she was born, possibly before white-haired girl was born. I wish they'd give us a name for that, but you know what? White-haired girl, that's fine. I'm bad with names anyway. I'll remember white-haired girl because she's still unique in that sense.
Would have been just a baby. It's not me. Is this not Mel? There's more writing.
Urged on by her rapidly pounding heart, Nellie furiously scratched away at the painting. Even as her clean pink fingernails were soiled with fragments of paint and blood, she didn't stop. Blood? Okay. She didn't stop. She was so overwhelmed by trepidation she could not stop. She had a horrible... premonition for something that was about to happen. Something indescribable, incomprehensible. This is how I envision your son and our unborn daughter might look several years from now. Your son, our unborn daughter. This is we're confirmed. So this is her favorite painting. And her favorite painting is actually a picture of Mel and the white-haired girl. Wow, she is not gonna be a happy person, is she? Oh my goodness. I was gonna say I don't know why, but I was thinking like, okay, did they just toss the painting? Like if they hate the painting, they're just gonna toss it, right? But no, it got kept. I mean, I guess it has to be kept because it was referenced, right? It was a reference. I feel like I should have anticipated this faster when there was no question of what the painting was actually of, and there was only one painting we were aware of the contents of. I feel like that would have been really obvious. Your son, our unborn daughter. So this is a painting of the future. Really is of me and Mel. Wait, our? No, use your head, stupid. Your son. Therefore, it would be your son and your daughter. It is Mel and someone else. Only 16 years ago, I wouldn't have been inside mother. Then, who is this? Who's that holding Mel's hand? Who's that with my brother? Or there has to be more. Ah, found it. There's more writing. I have to know what this is. Calm down, Nellie. Nothing to get worked up over. I'm sure it's nothing. Calm down and read. There's nothing to worry about. If our unborn child... This is what the writing says? If our unborn child does not have your hair color... then you will probably not be able to take her in as your own. If our unborn child does not have your hair color, you will probably not be able to take her in as your own. I will be punished and my life made miserable. And so I pray that this child might have flaxen hair. So it is a sin to wish. So is it a sin to wish she has in her a trace of me? I do hope it is a girl. What am I reading? I don't get it. Someone tell me, what does this mean? Painting from 16 years ago? Hair color, sin. You hope it's a girl. Drama, see? We're getting that drama. We're getting that drama, ain't we? That was a good scene. That was a good scene. I just consider they did just imagine like tearing your nails out, scratching at a painting. Oof. Nellie, can I come in? Nellie, let me in. Lady Nellie, you changed out of your dress. It's a shame. It looked nice on you. It really did look so nice. Almost like you were a princess. Nellie, hey, I got a question for you. You mind? By all means. What colored hair did your father have? I beg your pardon? Did you not hear me? Did I repeat the question? Oh, I assumed it would be about Lord Mel. I'm just so curious where you got that white color from. My father was more tan than white. I didn't inherit my paleness from anyone. Asked about your father's hair color. What you want to... No reason you can't tell me that, is there? Father had white hair. It was simply because he was an older man. I don't think he was born with... Huh. Lady Nellie? Guess what? I figured it out. Figured it all out. It was so simple. There's only one difference between you and me. And the thing Mel fell... The thing Mel fell for is... Why do you have those? No, stay back. We finally reached this point in the tale, Master. The spice. The spice is here. If your memory's been refreshed, we can return to the mansion immediately. Very well then. If you insist, Master. Proceed with the story. It's a stormy night, much like the one the white-haired girl had first arrived on. Quiet as a crypt in the mansion. Not a single light visible in the halls. Stormy night, quiet as a crypt in the mansion, not a light visible in the halls. The house sat in wait for the sun to peek out over the horizon. The darkness is, generally speaking, something that rushes by like a gust of wind as we sleep. The flaxen-haired young man, too, lay in bed, pale blue moonlight sporadically streaming through the gaps in his drawn velvet curtains as he attempted to submit to slumber. He was having difficulty... Oh. How did I do that here? Difficulty drifting off, but this time, as time trickled onwards, he grew closer and closer to the arms of Morpheus. I mean, there's some good metaphors. There's some good metaphors for, like, falling asleep. I think, like, every time it does that flash thing, I accidentally... It looks like it's being unresponsive, but it's actually triggering the cutscene before actually proceeding. I think that's making me double-click, because I double-click. It's not responsive, so I click again. Right. Suddenly I sensed a presence in the room, much like the one from those nights some weeks earlier. Someone there? Answer me. Slender, feminine figure pressed gently against his lips. There was no hostility in the motion, but rather a great deal of affection. The silhouette faintly visible in the dark room was the same as that night. A flash of lightning shone through the drawn curtains, illuminating her beautiful white hair. Several silky locks spilled over her shoulders and brushed against Mel's cheeks. A couple of soft puffs of air tickled his face as though she were silently laughing. He assumed her fingers held against his lips was her way of telling him to stay quiet. She began to slowly, delicately trace the outline of his mouth, moving down his cheek and along his jaw as if over porcelain. This isn't white-haired girl. You're, rather more forward than I remember. I suppose you always were quite daring. The first time you snuck into my bedchamber. The boy said in an attempt to conceal his surprise. You remember the night she came to exact revenge on him? Her father? Indeed, she'd proven herself to be a rather bold girl once already, but it's dark. I can't see you quite well. Why don't I light a lamp, or perhaps we could open the... Before he could finish, the white-haired girl sealed his lips with her own. In the near total darkness of his bedchamber, the two shadows appeared as one. They remained that way for several minutes. Their kiss was innocent, no more than the pressing together of two pairs of lips. At the same time, the white-haired girl lovingly ran her fingertips across his skin. When their lips separated, Mel gasped for air. It seemed he'd been holding his breath. Slightly embarrassed at himself, he said, "Why are your eyes... Dearest Mel, why are your eyes yellow?" The reaction. It like for the exhibition, it just plays a bell. That's so good. I know it's supposed to be dramatic, but that's a funny sound. He couldn't speak. The silhouette hanging above him was certainly the white-haired girl's. Or was it? As his next words were, "Get off of me." He reflexively shoved the girl, straddling him aside. She rolled off the bed, landing on the cold floor, but slowly, gradually crawled her way towards him. That wasn't very nice. It wasn't very nice. Veiled in darkness, she slowly lifted her head, and then there was another flash of lightning. The heavy fabric of the curtains rustled, bolts of light streaming between the gaps. Her flaxen irises glimmered, though in the bluish-white light they took on a twinge of almost golden glow. "Need to be so rough? This isn't the first time she's visited your bedchamber. Well, or did I not kiss you the same way? Tell me, how does she run her fingers across your skin? What does she do when she nuzzles up to you?" Stop this madness, Nellie. Why would you do this? You like white hair, don't you, Mel? You like white hair, which is why you fell for her, isn't it? So if I have white hair, you'll fall for me too. And then I can be your princess again, dearest Mel. What are you even talking about? He couldn't escape from her from his sister's piercing gaze. What happened? How could she? Questions crashed into the young man's mind like waves in a stormy sea. But none of them found answers. They simply caused him further perplexity. Hair, what happened to your hair? How did you get it that color? Oh, this? Oh, you like my wig? But as soon as the words left her mouth, Mel was in motion, propelled by pure instinct. He clenched Nellie's shoulders tight enough to dig his fingers into her flesh. Hurting me, Mel? What did you do to her? What did you do? Made her leave. It was a perfectly reasonable decision. She's obviously not nobility, and thus hardly fit to be a part of this household. There's no need to worry, Mel. I'm here to take her place. You sound like a madwoman. No matter if she was a noble blood or not. You promised she'd stay by my side. What? How could you do that to her? I promised you that long before she ever did. And I love you far more than she did, Mel. Have you lost your mind? Lost your mind? Yandere? Yandere? You're not making any sense. Where is she now? What's she doing? It's always her with you. What can you possibly want? What more could you want from me? Tell me, what do you have that I don't? What do I have to do to get her to focus on me and only me? We're siblings. You understand what you're doing? I understand quite well. Far better than you do, dearest Mel. I even know what a former queen was executed for it. But we don't get caught. There's no problem. Ellie, are you saying you always felt the way? Oh my, you didn't notice, dearest Mel? You truly are a dense one. This romance isn't your strong suit. You notice now, haven't you? You know exactly how I feel about you, right? Quit it, enough. Don't say anything else. Stop having these insane feelings. It's disgusting. What are you laughing at? Poor Mel, content in your complete ignorance. Alright, I'll tell you everything. Mel, you can only love blood-related women. His cackling sister appeared to him like some kind of inhuman life form. Her actions and incomprehensible exclamations slowly drained him of his strength.
Kind of deranged nonsense is that? I love her. She's your sister, Mel. Very funny. How far out of your mind have you gone, Nellie? Oh, poor Mel. You honestly know nothing. Say that her father was a painter? He painted pictures for a living. What of it? For a time, her father painted for our family. You've seen the picture before, dearest Mel. One hanging in my room of the two of us. It was painted by her father. He did a good job, didn't he? I kept asking and asking until you finally agreed to hold my hand. How did you feel at that? You're rather embarrassed, weren't you? You remember that day, dearest Mel? Possibly. There's a chance you might remember this. Before we moved into this mansion, we had a painter with white hair. I don't remember any such. It was long ago.
It is actually saying this painter in the service of the Rhodes family. It is mega quiet. Holy crap.
The painter did something very, very bad, and because of that, he couldn't remain a part of our household. You know what he did, Mel? He lay with Mother. My father was chased from your house. The child who had been born with flaxen hair, the painter, would not have been thrown out. The baby would have been accepted as part of the family. That wasn't how it turned out. The child had white hair. She didn't look at all like she carried the Rhodes family blood. But see, Mother had me. I'm all the proof. That I'm here is all the proof you need. A girl born 16 years ago didn't have flaxen hair.
Yes, there is dialogue in the audio lines. I'm not going to play it super loud.
Until his last breath, he was only ever held me in his arms and ran his hands through my hair, an apologetic look on his face. You're talking total nonsense. What proof do you have? If you want to see it, I'll gladly show you. The artist left a message in the painting in my room. Tell me, am I truly wrong? What did that girl tell you? You lie. Part of it is it a lie, Mel? Everything I'm telling you is the truth. Why don't you go ask Mother? I'm sure she'd throw quite the fit. Mother wouldn't. Her mistress did not send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite, she took me in as a servant. It never made sense to me. Why would she hire a maid she knew nothing about, someone who just showed up at the door one day? When I asked Mother to make her my maid, she stubbornly refused. From a good house? Don't make me laugh. If she were really nobility, she would have given us her name. But Mother was so desperate to cover up her mistake. Make any sense? I don't believe a word you're saying. Couldn't possibly be true. It'd be nice if you could bury your head in the sand, but Mel, feigning ignorance, then... No, I refuse to believe it. Not a chance in hell. You just don't understand anything. How I feel, how much I've suffered. You have any idea how long I've loved you? Knowing you'd never accept my affection. Then, see that? You fell in love with your half-sister. Then I should qualify for your love too. Shouldn't I, Mel?
See? I think parts of this are timed.
Stop it. Enough.
That laughter was suspiciously well timed.
Stop it. Enough. Shut your mouth. Not another word. I don't believe any of this. Mel. I know you'll never love me. There's nowhere to run. Then when we were kids, was that really me? Was I really by your side? No. The painting tells the whole truth. I was never once did I get to be your princess. Not even once. Dearest Mel, everyone just loves to dote on me. They're always telling me how pretty I am. Mother does, father does, all the maids do too. I can do anything I want, so for me, acting like a spoiled child is the only form of rebellion I have. I don't have the kind of freedom you do, Mel. When I have visitors, it's only ever for show. It's not my fault I don't have friends. Dearest Mel. You're the only one who's ever cared about me more than anything in the world. Dearest Mel. I always knew how I would react if you fell in love. I'd cry my eyes out, I'd envy her to death, and I'd get angry as a bull. But eventually I'd have given up. I knew I could never have it my way after all. My feelings would never bear fruit. So why did she have to be your sister? Tell me why. The spice. The spice!
Rewind to the first scene? With them? Okay.
Oh dear, no. Try again, reading such hard books. Eyes will go bad if you spend too long staring at pages. I'll be fine, Nelly. I'm not like I'm reading 24 hours a day. Oh, good enough. Our eyes go bad, dearest Mel. You won't be able to see me anymore. I can see you fine and well, my princess. Your hair glimmering like the sun, your beautiful smile. You as clear as day, and that'll never change. Eyes are clear today. You're even more radiant than usual. No, this is my favorite season. Winter's cold. There's so much rain. I can't stand it. I think it's closer to my birthday. The clouds go away. I just adore the sun. It's almost your birthday, isn't it? Have you decided what you're going to ask Father for? Not yet. I want pretty dolls and shoes with sparkling gems. I also want a pretty dress, like the ones Mother wears. I thought this dress was fine, though. I don't have a problem with the dress she's wearing now. It looks nice. All this that long's asking a bit much, even for Father. But dear Smell, I already have what I want the most. The truth is, as long as I have that, I don't need anything else. Oh, and what about that? The hairpin they bought you the other day? Perhaps the song they had written for you last year? Oh, none of that, dear Smell. What could it be? I'm really curious. What is it that's so valuable to you? Well, that's a secret. Girls have so many secrets, I just don't know what to do. Oh. Hey, dear Smell, would you run your fingers through my hair? For a little bit? It's gotten into you, Nelly. Why are you so hungry for attention all of a sudden? Please, dear Smell. Oh, Nelly, what am I gonna do here?
Did you see that flash, by the way? That was clearly another CG. Cut in. Nice job.
What am I going to do? Come over here. I want to sit on your lap. You wish, my beautiful little princess. Say it, dearest Mel. What is it this time, Nelly? Right now, I'm so incredibly happy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, and out of curiosity, who was it you really cared so much about?
He's running outside. Did he not check, like, her rooms or the servants' quarters or something first? We'll see.
In a feared frenzy, Mel fled from the mansion. Even in the early summer, the night was cold, and to make matters worse, raindrops pelted him from head to toe. But that caused him little comfort, for a far greater maelstrom of pain rampaged within his breast. At night, the town took on a different appearance. Not simply for lack of illumination, but the people active within it as well. It wasn't a suitable place for a young aristocratic man to go wandering unattended. The darkness is not the only abode of devils, but also of beggars, thieves, criminals, and all manner of things undesirable. But despite that, he continued to run, knowing not where he was to head, which is why very confused. He simply went where his feet took him, and where he arrived was the church. Father. God should be able to offer me counsel, answer all my questions. But the painting about her, about Nellie's feelings. Not her lies, but the truth. Please open the door. Open the door. As you might expect, the door was locked and the priest showed no sign of responding to his calls. The sound of the pouring rain drowned out everything else. His head drooped feebly. He looked like a helpless calf who had wandered alone onto a dark, precarious mountain path with no end in sight. Why? Won't anyone tell me the truth? All I want is someone to tell me whether or not it's true. Have I sinned? I didn't know anything. I didn't know. No. None of it's true. I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not at fault, am I? Nevertheless, his sister's claims and her laughs continued to echo within his head. If he truly believed it to be false, he would have gone to look at the painting. That he could not was an indication that uncertainty had a stronger grip on him. Fragmented images of a white-haired painter fluttered through the back of his mind, but he desperately shoved them aside.
So, if we're going... He's 3 years older than her. He is 3 years older than her. And this is a painting taken before his sister was born. So he is between... He is presumably alive? In between 0 and 3. And you're telling me he has accurate recollections of the face of the person who painted him. Very impressive.
I guess he actually is a genius.
And this wasn't a painting he had to stand for either, because that was purely drawn from imagination, as it was one of the people didn't exist, and he wasn't capable of walking, let alone being like 7 or 8 years old. Between 7 and 10, honestly.
What good is the church? What good is theology? What good is God? Something moved near the boy.
It stood immediately behind him and grasped his light dressing gown. He'd been so consumed in his own world he hadn't noticed the person's presence till they were close enough to touch him.
Who are you?
Standing there was a beggar dressed in tattered rags.
No begging at the church.
The hooded beggar tentatively extended his hand towards Mel, pleading for relief with sad, slender fingers. Were he a generous young man, Mel would have given the beggar something. Were he generous, of course.
Lord, get your filthy hands off me. I don't have a damn thing to give you right now. Don't you dare touch me.
Suddenly, the beggar's head turned upwards, and my eyes catch the beggar's. Her hood fell back, revealing a hairless head. A pair of red eyes gazing bitterly, though with a familiar and distinctive glimmer, at Mel.
Red eyes.
She immediately covered her face and turned to run.
It can't be. No, the beggar's always been.
Was it? Said yourself they wouldn't survive much longer. How could you be certain she was the same beggar?
Wait for me.
Perhaps as someone of such high social standing, all beggars appeared the same to you. Or perhaps you wanted to believe your meager generosity made a difference. You did something of value. I won't say it's wrong to think so.
Wait for me.
I chase after the fleeing girl. Though I show for her to stop, she continues running. The rain is so heavy I'm afraid I might lose her. I'm terrified, but I didn't do anything wrong, did I? Begging you, please stop. I just want to talk. Comes to a stop at a corner. Please don't go around this corner. Sorry. Are you apologizing? What I said back there was terrible. For that, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was you. Come back to me. If you're concerned about social status, I'll figure something out. Nellie's getting married off soon enough. Yeah, Nellie. Nellie did some horrible things to you. She's lost her mind. She was talking nonsense. Don't worry, she'll be out of the picture soon enough. I'll make sure you're safe. Say something, please. Are you angry? Or you're angry, are you? I'm not angry at you. I'm not. Did you know everything? You come to our house? Did you tell me, please? The priest isn't around. Everything Nellie says is a lie. You're the only one who'll tell me whether or not it's true. What are you? Our relationship. I don't understand what you're saying. For the best. No one who knows. He'll be gone before long. I'll be alright. But Mel? Oh, I'll be alright. Let's go back. I'll make sure you're never put in danger again. I'm begging you, stay with me. It's no longer suitable to stand at your side. How unsightly I'm back by the church, right? Hair can grow back. That's not a problem. Now I truly look the part of the... I'm to blame. It's a sin for me to find happiness in your kindness. We talked about my sin was falling in love with you. Not what happened to my father, nor how we spent our days. There's no sin in that. We have our whole lives ahead of us. Don't we? With enough time, this whole mess will be behind us. The things only get better from here. I'll be your prince, like the one who figure out to see the outside world. Please, give me your hand. Come to me. Don't leave me all alone. I need you by my side, please. I extend my hand around the corner. I sense her hesitating beyond the bend. I'm begging you. I can't see what's on the other side, but a vision of her reaching out to put her hand in mine wells up in my mind. But sorry, her had an ending. But she doesn't take my hand. I doubt the girl ever wrote that letter. Oh. She's not there when I turn the corner. Why? How did things end up like this? Where did I go wrong, God? Where was likely your kindness? Thoughtlessly, haphazardly spreading your generosity. That generosity came from your own desire to avoid pain. For your own happiness. What should I have done? I can't take this. Everyone was happy. Nellie used to laugh and smile. She once meant the world to me. Why did things end up like this? It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Pretend like nothing happened, then perhaps they can go on smiling in your head. Regardless, you must follow the path you tread. Your path alone. The path you chose when in that moment you decided to run. Make the wrong choice in those moments and you'll find yourself on the road to ruin. Would have been better off in the dark.
I just wanted those tranquil days to last. Supposed to last forever. At some point, childhood must come to an end. And that ending may not be the one you anticipated. World. You yearned for a world where that would treat you with kindness. What do I do? What should I have done? Someone help me. You should return now. You spend too long out here, you're liable to catch a cold. Now let us return to our own time. Crestfallen young man faded into the distance, and the decrepit double doors clacked shut. So he's having a bad time. The worst of days, you could say. Worst of days, you could say. His sister drove his girlfriend off by taking a knife slash scissors to her hair and or face. Uh, that she can make a wig out of her hair to try and seduce her brother, and then made the claim that is almost certainly true. Well, we don't have enough information, but we'll say almost certainly true that she's his half sister. His girlfriend was actually his half sister, and neither of them knew. Rough stuff. Rough stuff. I'm kind of curious where he goes. That said, we're only reading tales. What happens next? We're only reading Tales of the Mansion, though. That's what the pitch is. So I guess if he leaves the mansion, we don't follow him anymore, right? If he leaves for good? We've returned to our quote-unquote own time, but we know literally nothing about that, which is a weird one. So I'm curious if we go to the next story. We'll just continue his story 10 years on or something like that? Or if we go to a completely new story, like they abandon the house because they hate it too, or something. I'm not really sure what happens. I guess that could be a thing, right? We get a new family, and they talk about what happened to the previous one. I guess we'll see. Through the shattered glass, you could only see the ruins of a garden, not a single rose growing within. I think their narrative is interesting though, because they like draw you into a story, but then they're like just like boop, we're gone. Like it feels like the meta narrative is not enhancing the story at this point. It's currently, apart from the fact there's no audio here, the meta narrative at this point in the story has not enhanced the story in any way. Rather, I would say it's detracted from like a romantic tragedy that was somewhat entertaining. You know, it got like this. It got spicy, real spicy near the end. Exactly what you're looking for. And then they pull you out of it, and instead of getting the ending, you just get like the dramatic peak, right? Kind of a weird choice. Let's see where it goes next. I'm thinking it'll step forward a couple years or something, since it's Tales of the Mansion or something. We'll see.